The amateur game has always been a big part in our lives. It's always the topic of our conversations and it's constantly on our minds on a daily basis.
Although it's not at a professional level, the amateur game is a working class sport at a working class level. Players put their bodies on the line, lives on hold, and have worked their socks off to be the best they can be from the top to the bottom of the amateur game.
We live and breathe football, and the amateur game has given us our best years in football. Both of us have come to the end of our playing days and want to sit and speak to the legends of the game, legends in their world, to sit and listen about the careers and stories of the game we love.
Welcome to our podcast.
3 points, please.
Okay, today we have a man probably that is putting more into his managing, coaching and the things of his career than he probably did as his senior footballing career. You'll probably agree with me on that. A serial winner, a serious footballer in his day. Could have been more. Last year or the year before probably would have needed an introduction, but now I don't think he needs an introduction.
But we're going to introduce him.
But we're going to introduce him anyway. Finglas United manager and friend, John McLaren.
Welcome, John.
Thanks boys. Jeez, I appreciate that. Adam, blushing here.
Yeah.
As I said, I am probably more nervous now than I was for the metrical final. Or probably the birth of the kids even. You know, they wouldn't know we used pair. You know, staring down the barrel here, them sweating buckets. I'm delighted to be here. Fair play, lads. Appreciate it.
So, what's it been like since obviously the cup win, the double?
Yeah, it was. Look, I don't know where to start on that. Like, we probably needed a break. When did we finish up we won the double on the 31st of May, so we needed a break, but I was itching to get back, and I think we're all itching to get back, but we definitely needed a break. When we came back, it's been different. They're definitely moving different. I think the first 2 weeks of pre-season they were ferocious in training. Like, I think the same was used. They're moving like champions now. But then we had a little lull. I won't lie, we had a little lull for a week, and the foot came off the gas a small bit. As you do, you probably smell yourself, the usual stuff. I went on holiday, a few other bits lads at holidays, but then we pulled it back in, we got it together, and we're right up to speed now. We started unbelievably well, and you know, so
the tempo of the Sunday sessions are down is frightening, isn't it?
Yeah,
you see as a walking boy.
I think Al will second this, and he's been in the melting pot with us, like you know, Roy Keane said it and all about, you know, for United for a long time, training was harder than matches. For us last year, it was definitely the case, you know. And if you look the way we train now, or the way we trained last night, you know, if you're not on it, you're going to be found out, you'll be exposed. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say it's hard to maintain that intensity though, because yourself as a manager in the dressing room half time on the pitch, the intensity is there for you.
Yeah.
When you bring that to training, I say it's training after the while.
Yeah, it is. It's training. I'm exhausted. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Like, again, Danielle was vouch for this, and I think my managerial career is probably dog years. I'd say 1 year for a normal manager is probably 7 years for me, because I'm so intense on myself, and every session's intense, and every time I'm in the dressing room it's intense, and on a match day but that's my seat. That's what I'm good at, so that's what I have to do, you know. I'd openly,
and that's what'll ramp your energy,
of course,
you know,
and it's taken away from me, but I think in many ways I'm different now. I've got an army around me now. I've some network of people and support now like that. I just have to be ferocious or intense in certain moments, but I walk around all day now. I'm 24/7, like, but I've got so many people doing so much stuff for me, you know, and taking the load off, and we're kind of shaping it where it's a case that I'm not saying I'm fucking gonna leave, but if I do leave, it's the changeover's gonna be exactly straightforward, you know.
Your personality though as well, your training last night, the crack you have with the boys as well, so obviously the mix of them two, it kind of makes you the kind of manager you are as well.
Well, I think that stems from a collection of things. Like, I've probably always been that way as such. I think if me and you were to draw up a conversation me and you had about 10 years ago online, Nelly, I was itching for this job since I decided I wanted to be a manager or a coach. I said it to you. I remember having the conversation.
Yeah, I remember that,
And I think that's going to shape my personality, whereas I've always wanted to be here. I've always wanted to be here. So I know that when I'm here, it's going to be everything, all the time. Never take it for granted. never be ungrateful, you know, like, and that's just the way I run it, you know. So that's where I'm at with that, and that's why I think training and the whole atmosphere around us is it's always really, it's good. It's emotional, isn't it?
It's good.
It's an emotional.
And the boys are well knit as well. Like, so even anyone that new comes into the club that welcomed in, and
the boys are incredible.
And they spend most of the times in the. Oh no, I was going to say the jolly now, but
no, but
take that out.
No, that's probably part of it.
It is.
Yeah, but that's it. It's part of it.
We spoke about that before. I can't remember who was with, but we were talking about the connection that we had. The old days, everyone used to go for a few points. Yeah. It's going to change up. Was it the closest lads I've seen was probably the Finglas lads, and it's that what they have downtime to them, and then when they're at training, it's game heads on.
And then you've got to be smart. When did you most enjoy your football? Like, it was probably when you were really good.
Yeah,
and you were all in and around your mid-20s, and you were best friends, and you were having a point, and you were playing football, and it all ties in.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Me and Al's is a devil for it, like myself. We wouldn't want them like drinking before a game. They never would.
Yeah.
That's not their style. But we did want them socialising after the game with each other. We did want them going down to the Jolly or the Shamrock and being together and having each other's back. Absolutely.
Brilliant, yeah.
That's part of it. We don't want people getting in cars, and I've heard you on the podcast, and going their separate ways and going all over Dublin and then just teaming back up on Tuesday or Thursday. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of these fellas are the best of friends, and us included.
And it's a strength, like it's a massive strength in that team.
It's a huge strength. You could. I said if you've mocked us up there, or
it's almost like a 12 man.
Big time. I think again it's probably my strength. I'm able to pour petrol on it. I know how to ignite them. Do you know, to nearly make it a war zone. All that said, these are proper players. They just needed a little bit of a push.
Yep.
That's all, you know. I needed maybe a little bit of discipline. You know, I think as you're saying, I'll introduced about my playing career. It's definitely as a senior was limited. It was whatever, like, you know what I mean. And I'll be the first to admit that. But I definitely left a lot behind. And I think if I had someone like myself as a manager, I might have done a lot more. But I did have that at the very beginning, and at the very beginning I was successful with Chandler 21, 22, but. And then John went to Usher, I followed him, and then the recession hit and work becomes more important and stuff like that. So now everything seems stable, like, you know what I mean? Most people work, everybody works now.
Yeah.
The lads show up for their training and they're set in their ways, but they're a phenomenal group, they really are. You know? I could go on about them all day. I really could, you know, every one of them.
Brilliant.
Yeah. We'll keep some time.
Yeah.
Anyway, for that, take us back.
All the way back to Barnamore,
Finglas South.
Yeah. So I'm from down south, Barnamore. I don't know. I heard you on this. You to go through your childhood. My childhood was exactly like most people on this. Unbelievable. Like, you know, my relationship with my dad and growing up in Barnamore was like brilliant. All we did all day, like yourselves, you go out, we play football all day. And me, anyway, I did. I'd just bang it against the wall or against the pole. School was all right in school, and yeah, it was fucking brilliant, I have to say, you know.
It was the first schoolboy club.
First schoolboy club was a team called St. Helena's, I don't know if you know.
I remember them, yeah.
But they were old. It was
from at the back of you.
Yeah, but I would have been. I was only. We used to.
They were around the community centre, were they?
Yeah, look, I was only maybe 7.
Yeah.
But I was good. There's no two way. I was definitely good, you know. But they were maybe under 10 or 11. They were much older, and Dunmartin and stuff like that, you know. But through school or Oliver Plunkett's, but they used to train on the tarmac, you know, the old Rivermount pub.
Yeah.
At the where the church is. But I'd be only 7 or 8, and you'd be training and be cut glass on the tarmac, and it was no holds barred. Proper players, like, you know, it was brilliant. Then fall into my own age group. Then I think I signed for a team called Rose Hill Celtic. Don't know if you know them. Remember them?
No.
Yeah, well, Graham Fox, Joe Fox.
Yeah.
From the far south.
Yeah.
Joe Fox, the outfielder with the beard. He was class boy. He put together a team. From the far south, but they're called Rose Hill Celtic, and myself, Graham Fox, Mick Keane. Remember Mick Keane?
Yeah.
He's in America now, I think he is. Yeah. Mick Keane, Steve McGauley, Canu, Pender, all people like that. We had a great little team, like, and I think we went into the NDSL or something crazy like that. But we were thumping teams every week, scored mad amount of goals, like. But then that just collapsed. I don't know. Whatever happens. And I ended up signing for Rivermount. I think that might have been under 10. So far back, you wouldn't know. I think it was under 10, but it was with again with similar groups, like, you know, like people from the area type thing. And I was hanging around with a fella called Danny Carney. Don't know, do you know him? But anyway, we used to play football on the road every day, you know, up on Wellmount or on Airdens Oil, Farnham pitch. When I said there was a postman, he was driving by all the time. He said, "Jesus, Danny's with Home Farm. Would you be interested in going down?" He obviously thought you could play a bit. So yeah, I went down to Home Farm and by all accounts lit it up, like, you know, and they were like, "Yeah, let's go." So we went home, told the outfit now, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have money for Home Farm. I know they look for the fees for everybody.
Being a bit different back
it's
then.
It's a bit different, a little bit different, you know." But so anyway, the managers were 100%. Signed me, everything went great. Played for them. I think that first year might have been under 11, but I would have been 11 Premier, so it would have been major jump from what I was used to. But it didn't seem like a jump to me. It felt really easy, and I was scoring a lot of goals, getting a lot of attention, and then went on to, I think we went a couple of trips away, you know, Liverpool. I don't know. Can you remember them? See you do them? Solo travel and stuff like that.
Yeah, we done them with Wefta.
Yeah,
we went to Liverpool and close to Blackpool and stuff like that and all.
So then you kind of moved into under 12s, and you know it's a little bit more competitive now, you know, and especially back then, you know. Back then it was definitely more competitive, and you were going from just playing football to really being competitive now. Like, you know, you're talking DDSL squads and leagues and cups. And
did you notice that then yourself?
You
know you're in it.
Yeah, I was feeling
better.
like, you know, you were going down to Moby Road or Albert College we played, and it was big game after big game. It was Stella, Maryland, Cherry Orchard, and it was a big deal, you know, even around school. And you if you played for Home Farm, you're from Finglas, you were kind of a little bit different or better. Like, not better. It's not in that sense. Not in
but you're highlighted. Yeah, you're highlighted as a really good footballer.
Yeah, you're highlighted. Yeah, and we were really good, and I think we won the double under 12. I know I could be wrong, but we definitely beat Maryland in the cup final, 1-0 on the Oscar Trainer. And I got the winner.
Who's playing in your team now? Anyone we know?
You would know. Best part of them, Gav Whelan. Gav won multiple League of Ireland. Definitely won the one draw there. Stephen Kelly, who commentated on the game last night, you know. Fran Matthews was left full, brilliant. Like, me and him on the left side, like Fran left full, me outside left.
Good player, Fran, wasn't he?
Oh, brilliant player. Schoolboy, you want to say schoolboy. Unbelievable. But yeah, we were really, really good. And then so as for Maryland, you had Glenn Whelan and Buzzer and Sambo, you know, like proper household names. And the same out in the Orchard, it was Fats, like, you know, Keith Fatty and people like that. But and then just
that's a good age group, isn't it?
Oh,
very good age group.
This was a crazy Ray Whelan.
Yeah.
Ray Whelan was Malky's, like, who are they're probably one of the weaker teams in the league. But then I was thinking it was the end of the 12s, I think it was, or 13s. We had a game down in Albert College against a team called Marks. Remember Marks?
Yeah, Marks Celtic.
Marks Celtic, yeah, but they would have been cannon fodder, you know, for us, like. And I think I got 3 or 4, and the outlet used to come to every game, but he'd stand in the corner. He wasn't a football man. Yeah. Never played man, you know, like. But he loved it, and he loved, like, my passion for it, you know. So he would stand under the tree and he'd have a cigarette, and I'd be buzzing. But then after that game, that particular game down in Albert College, I think it was under 13s. A man called Pat McAvoy approached me after the game saying, "Is your parents here?" You know, and I was like, "Yeah, well, my dad's over there in the corner," you know. And so we walked over, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm Celtic scout. I'd be really interested in having John over." You know, so as you can imagine, the excitement was like unbearable. You know, you couldn't wait to get home and tell your man or whatever like that. And so yeah, that was just massive
thing back then, isn't it? If you hear that somebody's looking at you as a scout, if you even hear there's after being a scout at your game, it's a massive thing. But for a scout to actually come physically to your parent,
Pat say,
we're interested in like they.
What's that you're thinking, like, they unmade it, that's it,
that's exactly how it felt.
Across the water.
That's exactly how it felt. You know,
and now when you look at it, what you're at the saying there, Nelson, of how that was such a strong age group.
Crazy group.
You think of that age group, not just in Dublin alone, but probably country worldwide, of how many players went away and had, not just went away and probably came back, but stayed over in England and had like massive success.
At that age group,
Keith Fatty, Stephen Kelly, Glenn Whelan, a lot. Compared to
they're
now and
they're at
10
the top.
years
They're
ago.
at the top scale. Al, there's a lot of people at that age group who had big careers down the lakes. Stephen Cappers, Dal McMahon's, Keith Graydon, Rasha Graydon. I don't know whether you know him, boys, red hair fella, my age group, off the charts, like. And they were. You got there's hundreds of them, and they played down the divisions or in League of Ireland. Whereas there was a case that I probably got there first, and then I went right back to the end. Do you know what I mean? Like way, like I had no career compared to them guys. Like, don't get me wrong, but I was conscious of it. But maybe I was a guinea pig in a sense as well. That, you know what I mean? I was the one that got the look in first, but I couldn't handle it. I definitely couldn't handle it.
So at 12 years of age, though, when he came last year,
12.
There you go. Technically a child, like.
It's so,
And they're putting that pressure on
you. It's not playing me on.
Yeah.
Just
I wouldn't let the younger go to the next avenue on her own. She's 13.
But that's what Barbara's talking about when he got over there. He said he got injured. He was in the hospital on his own.
Same.
Left there.
I was injured over there, so.
Yeah.
I got injured over there and left there. And I'm twiddling my thumbs in Dorm, Hamilton Academy. You know Hamilton Academy? I think they had Scottish Premier League game, haven't they? But they have like there's a racetrack there. They've dorms, like it's like a college or something. And that's what I was staying.
Goes to show you then the lads that did make it over there, make career in England, mentally must have been mentally strong, very strong for that to happen to them.
Absolutely.
Because you know yourself, 12, you're probably in Celtic one week, you're going to United probably the next week, all over the place. So you're bounced from on your own.
Yeah.
Like no friends, no technology. No.
I think what Al's saying there is right. I think if you were to compare it to today, or even 10 years ago, or even 15 years ago, like I mean, once we got, at my age group in particular, once we got to 13s or 14s or 15s, everybody was crazy good. I mean, they were brilliant. Everybody. And the ones that weren't standing out originally, they start coming to the fore at 16s and 17s. Alan Murphy, don't even know Alan Murphy there?
Yeah.
From Ringsend?
Yeah.
He came.
Yeah, Alan, no, I played with
Very
Al
tall,
Tolka,
yeah.
Great lad.
He
Smashing footballer.
But he came late.
Late.
He came coming.
And he's small as well, Al,
small,
isn't he?
but he came late, and ability wise, like with crazy.
Yeah, really good, yeah.
But I mean, this is what we were dealing with. It was ferocious, and as I said, with me in particular, like I was nearly thinking when I got injured, and I got a bad injury, I was thinking this is.
We'll go to that because we have in front of us here. We have a target pull out from the Herald, and the Uran bang smack in the middle of it, Johnny, with a fucking fantastic header here, with a Celtic jersey on, and
the old orange blowout
like
football,
if you can, like we were talking about before we came on of the pressure of
Liverpool jersey underneath.
yeah, you can see that,
just in case he came knocked on the door, was it?
Of the pressure of just that alone. Like, talk us through how did this come about? Obviously, get back to where the Celtic scout comes and.
Yeah, well, at the time it was great. There was nothing better. It was exactly what I wanted. I was going to bed every night thinking of that. Anyway, so it materialised. This scout comes along, says, look, I'd be interested in bringing John over in his next scout holiday, which would have been, that's November I think, which would have been the January. So, you know, when you're off scout for the Christmas, you know, and you go over, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, what do we need to do? Blah, blah, blah. And we got it all set up, and we went, and then the next day after the game, well, not the next day, next train session after the game, the striker, Eamon Scott, you know Eamon Scott, he's still around. Eamon Scott's still around, you know, the striker online. But he had a little bit of a connection with Home Farm, and we were training, and Pat was there, the Celtic scout, I was there, and they were like, oh, can we do a little
talk, yeah.
And me thinking this is a small little piece, blah blah blah. Grand, give him the address to the house, you know. Well, we'll drop out to the house and we'll do it at the house, you know, with your mother or your father. That was a walk. So yeah, grand. So I gave him the address, and a couple of days later, I'm on the road, pissing rain, playing football again in the dark. Motorbike comes around the corner. I think it's all in that. It says, "Oh, they don't know where John McLaren lives there." And me like, you know, yeah, where's Slurry? I'm John McLaren, and then off he went. You know, it was a setup. He was like, here's a jersey. As you can see, it's oversized. It's a man's jersey. I'm only a small fella. Put it on stage. Have you got a football? It's the only footballs we have. It's a cup champion. Yeah. It's a cup champion. Yeah. He goes, pretend to do your homework. I'm doing my homework with a pint of milk. I never drank milk. And I'm doing my homework with a red pen, right and blue. So you can see it in it. And it's
when you think now of a 12-year-old boy standing in front of us now, with that on the pressure on him, on a reporter coming to his house, there you go, Celtic jersey, throw it on you, and there's going to be an article in their paper. You're going on trials. Like I have a 12-year-old Stevie's little young fella. Like if you look at him and say, how could he be ready to go across on a trial without his parents and have that pressure on it? And what you said before we got on again, it was probably a bit mismanaged for you.
Oh, big time.
Do you know what I mean? For that pressure on a 12-year-old.
Big time.
I don't think that happens today.
No, it definitely doesn't happen. They wouldn't be allowed to happen today. Not a chance. But at the time, I was loving every minute.
Of course, you don't take that away.
My dad was in work, but my man, it was great, and everybody was excited for the next issue of The Striker next Tuesday, wherever the case may be. We already spoke about this. The only person unhappy about this paper was my dad. He obviously foreseeing this is the road to ruin here, 100%. You know, like he was probably thinking, how often does a fella make as a professional football?
The percentages, limited. Yeah.
He's 12. He's 12. This is his mind polluted. He thinks that's it. He has it gone. The paper's telling him, look, the boy's got it, or whatever the case may be, you know. And they're talking all kind of things. So it was definitely an overhype. I was a good player. But I wasn't like completely stand out from the rest of my teammates. We were a really good team and a really good league. So I felt like a little bit of a guinea pig. Now thinking back, at the time I thought, no, I'm the fucking man.
Why wouldn't you think any different though?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and when you're a mature adult then, you're probably still process that when you're processing that, you're saying to yourself.
Obviously you have your real life, you have your kids, you have your work.
Of course, you're mature.
And you know, but when the likes of when today came about and I knew I was coming to speak to you, you would literally drift back down memory lane. And I am actually processing it. And it's kind of why I am who I am now, because of stuff like that. So I had that and I carried that around me, and I don't get me wrong, I done well and I ran with it, and the first time I went over there I done really well, played well, like stood out and played a couple of games. I was ball boy at Celtic and Rangers on going to be New Year's Day or the 2nd of January anyway.
While you were over there?
Well, I was over there. I was ball boy, but like,
isn't that surreal to think that you're over there and you have no parents with you? That is mental.
We had to step out for the fly. My dad had Pat McAvoy's phone number on a piece of paper.
Isn't that brilliant though, isn't it?
1995. It's 30 years ago now. It's 30 years ago, like, you know. So
I love the old days, I have to say, I really do. Like, thinking back to it there. This is the motorbike pulling up, your dad missing his alarm. Where's the number?
He gives me an adult Celtic jersey, you know what I mean? I haven't had a haircut in 6 months. We had no money. Now you wait. And so yeah, but when we got over there, and it was just brilliant, and you're met at the airport. I'm sure anybody that has done this, and there's loads probably listening that have done it. You're basically picking like a minivan and off you go, and you're into your digs type things, which for us was Hamilton Academy. Then you go to the ground. I don't know, are you familiar with LDA? Have you done it?
Yeah, we've been over to Celtic a few times, yeah.
But you get brought in and you're brought
I've never went on trials.
You're brought into the dressing room, and at the time Tommy Burns is the manager. There's no Tommy Burns. Amazing man. He's a Celtic legend. You know, managed and played for them, but and then he died a couple of years. Died a while ago, I don't know when exactly. But you know, these things that stick in your head.
With you, yeah.
So you're sitting there as a trialist, say, like, you know what I mean? There was me and one other fella from Ireland over, from home farm 14s at the time.
You're young or old?
Oh, you was two. Oh, well, I was 14.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So a year up, but I didn't know him, you know what I mean? Like, and
so in that particular game when you were scout, that scout was just gone for you.
Pat's son played for our team, so he knew me. He was watching me every week. But it must have been like, let's pull the trigger here.
Yeah.
It must have been like, let's pull the trigger here now, because we were getting to the age where, I don't know, if you're down in Albert College, like you would have had Derby there, the Arsenal scout, you know. Noel McCabe was there nearly every week on the push bike, so it was starting to happen, you know, things were starting to
and that's where they used to hang out down there, because Stella were there,
and Farm were there, literally all the
yeah, of course, it's the opposite,
like, you know.
Yeah.
It's easy for them,
yeah, but so we got over in the van, you're down, Tommy Burns comes in, you're in the dressing room as a trialist, like a few other kids in and around your age or a little bit older, but the first day manager comes in, you know, But he's like, he puts his hands up to his face like this, like pretend glasses. And he's like, I'm looking at you. But it wasn't even funny, but like, it was just stuck with me. You know what I mean? It just, it never,
it's a memory,
it never left me. It's like,
mind.
welcome, blah, blah, blah. And the usual stuff, and they take you up to a canteen, like, and you might die until I met Danielle. It was fucking chicken nuggets and chips, you know what I mean? Like, it was horrific, but there were people talking pasta. I thought it was on holidays or something. No, what's he going to do? Bleed pasta, you know what I mean? Like, so I hadn't got a clue. I was just looking for a few chicken nuggets or something. But I remember, and I wouldn't have known him at the time because I wouldn't have been privy to it. But the Celtic captain at the time was a fella called Tom Boyd. Tom Boyd, but he could identify that this is a kid and blah blah. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's twiddling his thumbs, and he was like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" And he would have got the chef and said, "Get him a few chips," stuff like that. Just stuck with me, So then you go down, they show you the gym and they show you around, and you go into the gym, and John Collins, know John Collins?
Yeah.
John Collins is some player. He's injured and he's in the gym doing a bit, and
one of the biggest Scottish players of all time.
He was played for Fulham as well. Class act, right? But he's in the gym. But like that, you can see these are kids essentially, as you said, a 12-year-old or 13-year-old, and he brings you in, he's chatting away to you. And I knew who John Collins was, like, so so you're about it, you're all about it, and you're ready to go. And then after that, just back to the digs, bunk beds, that was a little bit like, what the fucking story here, like, so you're in bottom bunk and top bunk, and you go to bed, and we collect in the morning, we go down to a place called Celtic Boys Club. That's what it is. I think the Troilers go there anyway. You give him gear, like it's crazy. Like it's for me now.
Everything you want when you're a kid that age.
Thinking back now,
all you wanted was like that trial.
You're walking in,
gear.
And you're handing it gear, like, and I think I could have had 68 or something. Anything shorts or whatever it was. But you're out and you're playing, and it was fucking all about it. And played the game, done really well. The next day, Celtic are playing Rangers in the derby in Celtic Park. Right, the Troilers are going to be ball boys or whatever, thinking, fuck me, this is life. But you're starting to think this is normal now for me. So Celtic Rangers playing for Rangers, Brian Laudrup is playing for Rangers. The Celtic are laced with them as well. They've got Bladen, the Van Hooydonk, Cadete, fucking Jackie McNamara, Paul McStay. These are class. These are superstars. Gazza's with Rangers.
Yeah.
Like Gazza's with Rangers. Ali McCoist is on the bench because we're on behind the goal. But we're walking out with Van Hooydonk, and these things stick with you. They're singing the songs. Pierre Van Hooydonk songs. Pierre Van Hooydonk.
Yeah.
Some player.
Unbelievable, was, yeah.
Really
Forest as well.
Yeah, Forest, big Dutch man. But so
he went on strike as well. He
did.
But I'm behind the goal, and I thought you will be familiar with it because these are the things that stuck with me, So I'm behind the goal, and it was nil. The game's 0-0 anyway, but 100% as sure as anything. Fella comes up to me in a Scottish accent. I'm not doing accents.
Go on,
you're the Scot around there, Squalid. Ali McCoist it is. And he comes up and he goes, "What's on the clock, kid?" You know what I mean? And I'm like, "What? This is mental." You know what I mean? Like,
should have fuck off your hunt.
Yeah, I mean, no clue. Like, no clue. I think other than that time, I think I've seen him on Question of Sport. But so yeah, that was just brilliant. In a half time and going to the toilet, and directly beside me in the going to the toilet is Dean Holdsworth. I think he played for Wimbledon at the time. But it must have been something going on. Slick. I knew it was Dean Holdsworth because when we were 12,
Premier League stickers,
we knew everything.
Every
was Hartson was with Wimbledon as well? Was he at Celtic at the time? Or he was
Hartson was a lot after.
He was after his Arsenal days.
Come on, I'm ancient.
So Dean Holdsworth not played at the same time as Hartson, no?
No, Dean Holdsworth was, I don't know what age.
He was Wimbledon though as well.
He was Wimbledon, yeah. He was definitely Wimbledon. He could have played together, but they definitely.
Not with Celtic anyway.
Holdsworth wasn't.
Celtic. I'm talking about. That's what I thought. Hartson was up in Celtic. That's what he could have been up there.
Yeah, well, it was Holdsworth. Could have been January. Could have been transfer. I don't know. Could have been anything.
Could be a bit of flirting going on.
But I knew him because I just knew all the players like that, So as I said, then you played another game then, and then you come home and you're going back to school, and like when you come back to school, you say,
is there a down when you come back?
Not at that time, because I don't think I had any emotions.
Yeah.
I don't think I hit puberty until I was 27. You
Same.
know, like I know emotions, like as in like a downer. I was excited.
You're
to
probably
see
on a
my
high
friends.
because you're probably saying, I'm coming back,
Of course.
and then I'm going to go back over.
So it's just still
gosh,
start a journey.
It's
as
an
you're saying,
excitement of a journey. Yeah,
And I was
exactly.
excited to see my friends, obviously, and my family and stuff like that. And obviously, me and my dad were ridiculously close, but all my uncles are football men, so they were like, they would have been really into it, you know, or as we would be ourselves, like you say, if our nieces or nephews and what to do, and like, oh, can you get me a bit of gear? You know, the usual crack, but really high. And you come back and then obviously finish out the season with home farm and finish out really strongly. 13s, I think we won the All Ireland. We could double check, but I'd be confident that we beat Kevin's 3-2 in the All Ireland final. We didn't win the league, and it was great. Everything was brilliant. Me and Stephen Kelly were best friends. He was in Ballygal. I was obviously in Finglas South. He was on my home farm team. Gav Whelan was another mate. He was the captain, and we were really good, really strong, and we were really happy. And that summer we went to Belgium, and we were playing a tournament like against Benfica, Ajax, the best of the best, like, you know, and we were pulling up trays, doing really well again. I think in the quarter final, I think we beat Benfica 1-0. I scored, and we come back and everything's great, and then bang, for the next season, rule change. And like, didn't really understand it, but like, you know, I'm born in August, and like, oh, the league format's going to change now. If you're born in January,
January,
is
yeah.
it still the same?
January,
Yeah, because my daughter's January, and
yeah.
I feel like she's bigger than a lot of
Yeah.
the kids who are age and the same physically. Like.
Some of them are only just a couple of hours, like
Yes,
past the window. Like,
absolutely,
and it's killing them.
Yeah, and it's killing them. So the rule change, and like, I'm like, God, what's going on? I don't really think I'm affected here. You know, it's whatever. It's a few months, but then the season, the next season starts, and it's a totally different ball game. You're going from ghosting by people to, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but at that age, at 14 or whatever the case may be, there's a big difference in people in physically.
Massive difference.
100%.
A huge
6 months is a big difference again.
Yeah,
You look at that way.
and it's a huge difference. And the people that were coming down,
Especially the puberty starts.
I was 11. I'm in January, and the 11th, so I'm 11 days out from being your age nearly.
Right.
yeah,
And I think if I had been born 11 days earlier,
yeah,
I'm on your age group then. But the difference between me and you back then was like huge.
yes, and there you go.
Huge. So
I
I
played
was
the
like
year up.
lucky 11
Exactly.
days out.
So,
Do you know
so
what I mean?
you went the other way to me.
Yes.
You went the other way to me, and a lot of people did.
I stayed,
But-
and
Yeah.
the rest went.
I
Of course.
was
And then
one
you, and now, with all due respect, you would definitely became a stronger player than that at that great age.
Yeah, definitely,
yeah.
So
definitely.
I was the one that I
I
came
would have
down.
been weak.
I came down a year, so I played with Barry McGowan's team for 2 years, and then came down here. So I was already that kind of.
But physically, you were big.
Yeah, you were always big.
Yeah,
You
but
were
I was a coward back then because they do
Yeah.
so slack because I wouldn't hit the ball, and then
Yeah.
Liam Donnelly goes, right, I'll come down to us, I'm putting you in a sweeper. So where's that?
Yeah.
I ain't got a clue
Yeah,
what was going on
of
in the
course.
fence, and then obviously you had to sink or swim situation.
Yeah, yeah,
You had to win your headers, you had to win your tackles, or you're
Of
stepping
course,
away.
of
Like.
course, yeah. Like that never registered with me. See what you said there, you have to win your headers, you have to win your tackles, and I probably come across as one of them managers, and I am one of them managers. That never actually ever came into my psyche as a player, ever. Even as an adult. You have to win your headers, you have to win your tackles. It just wasn't me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do it. I don't know how to tackle.
Yeah.
Well, I openly admit that I wouldn't know how to tackle. I'd be
But that's part of your game, though.
I'd be conscious of breaking my own leg if I tackled. But like now I would, as I got older, I would challenge physically for headers and use my body well. I could always do
Yeah,
that.
you could
But-
always-
You're on top out there today in
Yeah.
the clubhouse.
yeah, I can manipulate my body really well.
Throw the old arse out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
So,
can-
but that's
yeah.
protecting yourself. That's
Yeah,
not even tackling. That's just
not
protecting.
tackling.
Yeah.
Like
It was an
always-
intelligent way.
Yeah,
of
of manipulating
being
your
able-
body.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Step over the ball, throw the arse out.
All right, I'm not going to tackle, I'm going to do
And
this.
that kind of comes with after what had happened, and you have to learn to protect yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So going back to that, so obviously the age group came in, and I probably suffered a little bit, like, you know, I was still had it about me, but I was definitely going within myself, self-doubt was creeping in. So you'd gone from the massive high of you're this and you're that and you're gonna be this and that, to people coming down, like people like Ray Brennan. I think I mentioned him to his early. Ray's a good pal of ours, but he was a man. Like he was a man, and I was a boy. Like he'd sideburns. It was looks fucking ridiculous.
I say you fucking wish for them now.
It looked them now. But you know, they were and at home from at that stage, they're literally handpicking the best of the best from the country. So we were moving on, we were moving up, and they're bringing in lads from Tipperary.
Did that?
David
I
Nash
wonder.
comes in from
See
Tipperary.
that, because I remember my first experience of seeing that Nelson was obviously with your age group, but obviously kind of seeing it probably as well at my own age group when players getting drafted up. I wonder, was that a thing? Was that a thing when at your age group, or do you think it happened beforehand?
I think it only happened when that the age group came in.
Dipping,
I think it only happened
dipping
then.
into the country teams and taking them.
I think it
up
only
and-
happened then. Yeah,
It looks like Richie Ryan started to come up then for
because
Belfast.
that's what happened to us. We were under 13 All-Ireland champions, and we were all within a 10-mile radius of Whitehall, where essentially home farm is. You're either Finglas, or you were Edenmore, or you were Coolock, or Ballymun, or Ballybock. But then, when the age group came in, our team went to David Nash, Tipperary, right full. The goalkeeper, I'd say, is with Noam, Toig Murphy. I think he was Leash. Then you had Stephen Rice, Tipperary. They're coming from everywhere. Limerick, Pike Rovers, and they're all coming. They're all playing for you. So and in the age group and the physicality, and you're really suffering, and you're going from being the main man to, I have a fucking job on my hand here to get in this team. You know what I mean? Never mind, go away. And then just kept getting like that, and it kept getting harder, and the doubt was creeping in on me, and I was still doing okay. I was still doing well. I was still in the spotlight. As I think 14s or 15s, Arsenal did an open day, and they picked the best players from Dublin.
Liam Brady,
Liam Brady,
School of
Exactly,
Excellence.
I don't know.
So Liam Brady, Paul Davis.
Yeah.
Paul
Remember
Davis
that,
played in the middle for
Yeah,
Arsenal.
for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And a goalkeeping coach.
Down in Stella, was it?
No, we done it in Coco. We did.
Well, we done it down in.
Yeah.
We're Stella playing now.
Yeah, Richmond Road.
Richmond Road, yeah.
But we did it in Coco. But it was, again, and this would have been 14s, nearly probably 15s. And they picked, let's say, whatever they thought was the best of the league, or the DDSL squad. And I was in it. And Keith Fatty was in, and Ray Whelan was in, and Stephen Kelly. And I think each coach had to pick a player of the day, from the day. Like, it was like a little scales competition. Remember, it was like it was one of them things. Like, and I won a couple of prizes. I was after getting picked by Paul Davis, so I was still in and around the clique as such. But then when we got to 15s, I could definitely feel it deteriorating. I said, I'm under pressure here,
But physically, how were you developing though?
I wasn't.
You just obviously you said messing on you didn't hit puberty till 27 or something.
Yeah.
So them lads are coming up, as you said, look, man, you're still not developing there.
No, but I was protected. In like you say, home farm, I was protected. With Ray and Steve, and they were my friends, and I was protected. Like, I wasn't getting hit.
Let you do, and then they look after you.
Yes, exactly.
You do the skill sort of things.
That kind of carried on throughout my career. You know what I mean? Like, but then when it came to match day, you weren't. Like, we'd play Stella, say 15s, and Paddy McCarthy would be up against them in the Ireland setup now. But he was Ray was a man. You know what I mean? He hit you, and you're staying here. You're not going back. You're not going back for more. Well, I wasn't. Other people might have, but my mindset was, no, fuck this. I hadn't got it. I nearly climbed the mountaintop, and now I was already making my way down it.
Yeah.
The doubt and you're letting people down, and the pressure.
Do you think though, because you went to Celtic and that didn't materialise at that stage, maybe it could have now in fairness, could have something come into us, and all this coming, that's where the doubt was starting to come from. So they put the trigger on you at 13s, 14s. You're going to, you're not here at 15. You're in England, but it carried on for 2 years.
So say they hold fire on it.
Yeah. And
I just continue to go the way I was going because I was really flying. And they hold fire and they go, well, we wait till he's 14 and then we'll start sending them. Blah, blah. You don't know, but it's all ifs and buts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all ifs and buts.
Because you never went across, that's even more set
out. To go over permanently.
Yeah. So when you're over here, maybe that I could do this a bit better, and then some stronger. So all that pressure again. All that pressure coming on to you. I
think it's more pressure because I'd openly admit it now, and the goalposts move all the time. I'd openly admit I wasn't progressing to be good at 16s. All these lads they were much better than me. Yeah. They were.
Were they all going over abroad again?
They were gone. Stephen was
one of all gone around 15s.
Was one of me.
Yeah, because you could sign them at that age.
Stephen was one of my best friends.
Did you go anywhere else, Johnny, after Celtic?
We went to Everton. We did. Me, Ray and Stephen. And Yeah, that was brilliant as well. But it was like a home farm. Everything was a
Yeah, that's
connection,
right. Yeah.
and they were
Used
sending.
to have the crest. Remember?
Yeah, and they were sending us over. Like, it wasn't a trial per se, but they were having a look, say, the usual, you know.
Yeah, send your best three over.
Exactly.
Give them it's basically a trial.
and have a look, yeah. But it wasn't like the Celtic one where it was
pick
arranged and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, so and then they just fell into then the 15th season, pre-season down home farm, and obviously broke me leg. Then I think everybody, I think at this stage that knows me kind of knows that story.
I think this is why I think this podcast was important to get out right now at this particular time, because of everything what's obviously had to happen with Finglas, and the pedigree now is there, and but I think people only heard about that story.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny was a really good footballer.
Yeah,
he went on trial and he broke his leg. So, but that's all I knew when I was younger. You heard of Johnny, because we didn't know each other when we were like kids. We had heard Johnny broke his legs and broke his leg and didn't go away. But no, I don't think anybody knows what you're just had to explain, and everything they were at to explaining from the start of the podcast.
Yeah.
The bit in the paper, maybe your close personal friends like us know a bit about the paper, but your quality of them few years leading it up, and now obviously your story, your self-doubt, the pressure, everything. Nobody knows all this. They just think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He was away. He broke his leg.
Yeah. You know,
and that's just, there's hundreds of people that have that same story. But
oh yes, of course, it's a barstool, and I try to avoid it. You know, I do.
But the thing you said to us earlier on was the relief that you got from it.
Massive,
because the doubt was gone, the pressure's gone, and you're just a little bit of freedom there for yourself.
To everybody else, and I think this is why I'd rather say it as it actually is. To everybody else, it was like, oh, he was unlucky. He broke his leg. He could. To me, I wasn't unlucky. Like, it was, leg break was nearly an excuse or a get out. Like, I wasn't peak at 16. You know what I mean? I wasn't like.
Yeah.
There was other people better. I was just like, do you know what I mean? It was like.
So the start.
Happy days going. Nearly happy days. Like, you know, the pressure's off. You know, I can use this as an excuse, but. It wasn't the case.
Fair play. The honesty there, though. No, that's what's.
But that's what it was. You know what I mean?
And at that age group, you're never going to be able to turn around and say that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Or that age, you're never going to be able to turn around to your dad and go, "Oh, thank God, I'm about to break my leg. That don't have to go away."
We only, as you said, only developed that by really thinking about it. You know,
with an adult's brain.
By being an adult and thinking about it logically.
I'm still waiting for mine.
Yeah. But when you broke your leg back then, it was fucking. I think for me it was 14 months.
Give over short.
Oh, it was.
So I'd rather break my leg now than any other sort of injury.
Oh, no, it was mad.
Break a leg.
Break your leg now. I would. I'd rather break a bone in me.
That was a wheelchair job.
Yeah.
The leg break was a wheelchair.
What was it? Tibia, fibia?
Tibia and fibia. Yeah.
Both.
Compound
and ankle. Yeah.
Oh, and so you got three.
Yeah.
All right, I don't.
But it was a wheel.
Pins.
The whole feet, the toes flipped.
Can you remember the game and tackle?
Yeah, I can remember. It was down in Whitehall, and I rode attack a fella called Paul O'Reilly. I think he played for Hearts and Bray. I don't know, he's my age. I'm a bit older than yours. But I rode attack, but the ground was rock hard in July, and when I rode, I hit the deck and just everything just went. The toes spun, and I'm lying there, and no Carmine.
Yeah,
Carmine's son was down there, like, you know, we're home farm, like, you know, so Carmine was there, and he's with me, and he's like, he had a phone. Well, he had a few bob from the chippers. I don't know. Nobody had phones, you know. So he had to ring an ambulance.
Few deliveries.
You know, Dad had a phone actually, because they had to ring me dad. But there was the big blocks, you know, at the time. Yeah, and Eamon, man, he was the chair. He only had the returning chairman of home farm, but he was there, and they were around me, and it was you know, it was nearly tragic. Like, fucking on the ground.
Everyone knew it was bad.
Shivering, yeah. And Ray standing over me, ambulance, boot cut off, straight to the hospital, and the next thing I know, I was waking up. But like, it were great times, like, you know, like Steve Kelly was an international at the time, and other lads were internationals, and they were coming up to the hospital here, and they were really home farm rallied. The players rallied around me, and it was great.
Did you get any internationals?
Well, I was called into 13s and 14 squads, like, but no actual official caps. No official caps. But I was in all the squads. Like, we had a game down at home farm, and I played wide on the left, but two left wingers, one was from Belleville, one was from the Orchard. Darryl McMahon was with the Orchard. Don't know what he's known. Went to West Ham, and George Snake was with Belleville. He went to Spurs, but the two boys were bigger than Nelson are now. They were 6'2" and made of concrete, and I was 4 stone wet lads, you know. And you didn't really have a chance.
No.
You didn't, you know.
The mentality then, obviously, with the operation that to fix the leg now.
Yeah. No,
So the recovery, we told 14 months
14
recovery.
months, yeah,
we
yeah.
told, like, and then you're saying to yourself, like, 14 months is a really, let's go, I'm going to push back for that, or were you just like
I was
watching the other lads play football
I
and
was
you're
watching
saying,
the other lads all progress, and at the time when I was injured, they were Stephen Kelly had signed pro at Spurs. Robbie Kelly, I don't know, you know, he didn't make it, but he was going to Arsenal. They were all going everywhere. Gav wasn't going away. I don't know how, he was brilliant, but I had a conversation with Gav's dad, and I'd be good pals, still chat to Gav. I think he'd done a thing on Facebook before about players and most potential was
That's
myself,
right, I remember
you know?
seeing it, yeah.
And he had, all the other players were like top players, and then I was thrown in the mix. But Gav's dad said to us, because I was beginning to get older, and you know yourself, and I was like, yeah, well, it's not good enough now. But his dad would say, he stopped me and Gav was small, and it never left me. And I say it to people now, still younger people. He said, listen, John, at one stage, all of you are going to level out. All of you are going to level out, and the cream will rise to the top. They're all bigger and stronger and faster now. But when all of you have your man strength, the football will come through. And
Nothing will pass you.
And it was so accurate. I seen it with so many. I seen it with myself. Then when I decided to go and play senior football. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas even though you weren't physical, you were a man, so you could proper, you know, hold your
play
own.
that level,
Yeah. But he said that to me, and it always stuck with me, and it more so stuck with me by watching his own son. But Gav, having him there was huge, because Gav was small and slight and not physical and didn't go away, but then ends up, I think, maybe captain and tried it to the League of Ireland, possibly. But he definitely won it, because he grew into himself and ended up being a
football.
Player,
the football took over.
Yeah. And that was and then after that, then after Home Farm that year, I decided to cut ties. You know, like it was it had run its course as such. So I the Belleville manager, and Belleville wouldn't have been as strong as Home Farm. The Belleville manager got in contact with us. His name was Larry Hayden. I'd say he still got something to do with them. He's a big figurehead down there. But I ended up signing for them 7 inches. The start of 7 inches was, and only back from the injury and in and out. But when I first came down, straight in because of John McLaren. He was a good, the pedigree, the reputation, straight in, but not producing enough, like, for what you had to produce then, you know. So
this
then
was under 17s.
This was this was 17s, yeah. So this was, and then you're starting to smell yourself, aren't you, in the area, like, so you're starting to be with your mates, even when I was your cousin at the time, and drink is starting to creep in. It wasn't for me. I didn't drink till I was actually 18, but it's starting to creep in with your pals and whatever you're at, you know. And so then a few of my pals, then you're in school, you're in 5th year or 6th year or whatever, and Rivermount get promoted then to bleeding 17 or 18 Premier. I'm going like, this is it. And
on the doorstep.
It seems it's so many similarities to the current setup at Finglas. You know, they use are 18 Premier, and players that were with Belleville or with Rovers or with elsewhere, they're going, well, it's probably not working for them there. We'll go to Finglas, you know. Yeah. So that's what happened, and I ended up playing the second half of 17 Premier with Rivermount, and then the start of 18s. But then we went senior. But through that, I ended up meeting Joe and Barry. So, you know, ended up being
in Rivermount.
They ended up being my best friends, like, you know. And then that turned into senior football. Gar Carney, who's my brother-in-law, his stepfather John was managing Mellows. I wanted to have a little crack at senior football, went up, and then the rest is history then, you know. The rest is history. So that was the schoolboy stuff, you know. Which was alright.
Yeah, great story.
That's the first time you went through the detail on the DDSL sort of things, and it brings us back to kind of, it gives us me an insight and an insight into obviously how the trials sort of things work and the mentality things. So no, Barbara touched on it a couple of times, but
there would be a lot more, like, you know, you're talking, you can't remember everything, but the stuff that we went through early doors, 12s, 13s, the pedigree, meeting up with, say, DDSL squads or going out at the level.
You sent me a picture of the DDSL, and it was me, Glenn DDSL team,
Buzzer, Sambo, Sarge, Sarge, a legend. But I mean, my relationship with Sarge went from not seeing him, I seen him when I was, say, 14 or 15, right? To not seeing him again until I was 28, and I'd moved southside with Danielle. And we bumped into each other, and it was like,
I know,
the respect was there, and do you know how he's looking at me as a 13-year-old, footballer, and I'm looking at him the same way. And with the mutual respect, and we're still
very
friends
good.
now. For
Yeah, very good.
But like there would be a lot more now in-depth stuff in the DDSL, but we haven't got all day, have we?
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the clock
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
no,
we
so
haven't
yes.
got all day.
Yeah, so we're into the senior Mellows.
Yeah.
Many years with Mellows and
I think I done
Premier B title, was
I
it?
think I done 3 years with Mellows. No, that came later.
Yeah.
I started off, went with Johnner. And then Johnner is the single biggest influence on my career, without a shadow of a doubt. Well, as an adult, definitely. Other than my dad, obviously, like, you know. But went to Mellows and just blown out the water.
What league are Mellows in now at this
Premier
stage?
C.
Premier C.
Premier
And
C.
who's there to take you up there? Is it Garrett?
Well, Garrett and me and Garrett are essentially best friends now, you know. So, and it's a stepdad, and we were finishing up with Rivermount and wanted to go play senior football, and I could have taken it or leave it. That's where I was at. You know what I mean? Like in my head, kind of like. So we went up there, but I'm going from that, and then for whatever I was good at football, I was pacey and I could score. We're going to senior football Premier, and I'm just blown by people. And you know it's like a good dressing room. We had a good dressing room. It was Homer, Stewie Kelly, Finney, Terry Whelan, Hughie Kelly. They're men, like they're great lads. So I'm going by people and winning games for these, and these are just protecting me. Someone hit me there, then like a fucking ton of bricks, and I'm loving it. Like life is fucking.
Yeah, you're
great.
you're the superstar.
But I
now.
think at this stage though, you're a bit of a wind up as well though.
Oh, big time. I'm developing it now.
Yeah.
Because I'm developing now because I'm getting my confidence back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm starting to score again, and I'm going. I can fucking.
Winding
play.
people up to some hit you, and then them boys are in. You're at the back.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to get me a bit of confidence, and John was nearly tailoring the team to suit me.
Yeah.
You know, like he was like, you fucking hang about here, and we'll do this, and we'll get you in. And then after that again, we doing well, and we maybe third, fourth in Premier C, which was pretty decent at the time. You know, Devaney and a few other good teams.
So does Barry and Joe split off the Wefty?
I see Barry and Joe were.
Joe went to Tulk. Oh, Barry went to Tulk.
Barry went to Tulk at 18.
Yeah, because
so
he's a
little bit
younger.
younger.
Yeah.
And Joe obviously is a Wefton man.
Yeah.
But I was more friends with Gar at the time.
So that's how the Mellows relationship materialised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're doing that, but then all of a sudden, we're after a game, the boys are like, we're going for a point, and this is all new. You know, we were drinking cans, like, you know, near the field, and then
you're getting Nelson home.
Finney and Homer and Stewie Kelly and all, like, yeah, we're going for a point.
What's that?
What's going on here? You know,
Do you want to sneak into this place?
So then you're going down to Johnny, like, similar to you, but you're only 18 or 19, and you're fucking loving it. Like, I always had to start an apprenticeship, and you have a few bob in your pocket. At the scoring train, you know, the boy or two, you know, the boys, you know, Dowlaws, like if you play well in the Bills, there's 2 points in them, like they have you on a pedestal and you are fucking feeling it, you know. So I'm loving this. I'm saying this is me now. I'm set and I'm playing, but then the competitive edge kicks in. We don't get promoted from Premier C. And I'm going, all right, me and John are really, really tight, really close. And I'm like,
do you know what's ahead, like the likes of Premier A, AUL teams, and there's Leinster Senior League? You know that there's a level above, so you're aware of all that.
So Mellows get a shout going. We have a AUL youth sort of AUL squad, and I was on the radar, you know. So. And I was saying to John, if I'm on this radar, like I have to go and play type thing, you know what I mean? And we were in Premier C, which is unheard of for a fella to get in the AUL squad from Premier C, unheard of. But
Dermot Wilkins, the manager.
Paul Martin and Dermot Wilkins. But I went out and played, but it was me and Sambo was plucked.
Well, Devaney, was he?
Yeah, they were also Premier C, and he was brought out to it. Then the summer came, and Sambo goes to Ballymun. You know, and that's
I remember that one. All that.
That's obviously like because the AUL squad when you have to be whatever, you know.
Were the team,
and I stayed put. I stayed with Mellows, but I loved it. It wasn't under like duress. I was happy to do it. Like, you know, we had another decent season, nothing spectacular. Stayed in Premier C, obviously top goal scorer, player of the year. We did a little deal at the end, and John was like, you know, I have to stay. So I am staying. I'm nearly 21 now. Like at this time, I'm 20. So then that summer in the gaff, the usual summer, knock on the door. which hadn't happened like since I was a kid, was feeling it again. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, we're back, baby. But it's fucking Liam O'Donnelly and Robbie O'Reilly, you know? And I'm going, that's the crack here. I didn't know them like you.
You must have something to jolly added a few points.
I didn't know them like you knew them. I had no. I didn't kind of knew Liam, but Robbie was a complete stranger, you know. And they were like, yeah, we're going in at Wefty, yeah, be interesting having it. Straight away, I was thinking, yeah, Premier. I think it was Premier. Yeah, it was definitely Premier. Yeah. I says, yeah, right, grand, happy days. I'm gonna have a bit of this. So I broke the news to John, and he was distraught. I remember it, like I remember like feeling the guilt, like, you know. But I had to do what I had to do. I had to do it for me. So I went that season, and we were good at Wefty. I don't know, you were too young.
No, we were.
No, you were too young.
Well, yeah, we probably was around.
You were right. I think you were Paddy Madden your age.
No, we weren't older than Paddy. I was even older than Paddy Madden.
I think we played Robbie when I was 16. So how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 42.
Yeah, but you were a schoolboy when you played for Robbie.
Because I know one of the squads Paddy Madden came into.
Yeah, so I was probably just gone UCD and around that. Yeah, so and then Paddy came played up a couple of times.
With the seniors, he would have been 15 or something. Yeah, you know.
The year you won the Liddy.
This is that year. That's that year. That's my first year at Wefty.
Right, so you would have been League of Ireland, because when you won the Liddy, I was with the Valley.
Yeah.
So, and me and Murrier had left Rovers 21 to go to the Valley.
No, I couldn't have been, because Murrier was with me.
But Murrier left the Valley halfway through his first season and came to Wefty.
Right. I'd be confident enough that my first year at Wefty, Lemo stayed and then left and Chandler took over.
Robbie O'Reilly left, Lemo stayed, and Chandler came in with Lemo.
Sorry, that's bang on. That's exactly what happened. Sorry, that's exactly what happened. No, that's exactly what happened. And we won the Liddy, and it was mayhem. Like, Chandler was insane. He was brilliant. Like it was just brilliant. He would say, "Jump, how high, John boy, no problem." Like, he was right at you. But at the time, Chandler felt like a man. Chandler probably felt 40 at the time, but if you think back, he was probably 30.
He actually said that he was raging. He stepped into football that he would have rather played with that Wefty team than actually come and manage him, because he was only 30.
He was the manager, and then sometimes I think like that about our lads, about the younger lads. Like, how do they see me as this like old man? You know what I mean? Like do you know what I'm saying? So especially the younger lads, because I seen Chandler. Did you
look at Chandler even as I don't want to say a father figure, because your father's your father.
No, uncle, kind of.
Yeah,
or big brother,
because he wasn't.
I had you.
Yeah, he had you. But he wasn't like, if you played for him 10 years ago, you'd probably say, like what I'd say, he was like a father figure. Yeah. When I got older, and he got older.
Yeah, but when John got you in his web, you were ready to go, you know. And now obviously, I'm not stupid enough. I'm not blind to the fact that whatever good traits are, and he had a lot of them. John had. I was smart enough to manipulate them and take them on board myself and just stick them in the back pocket. Yeah. Now, when a lot of people said I'd be more like John O'Casey than I would Chandler, but then I've got little bits of everybody, and then me own stuff, my own thing. You know, you try to put it all together. And that's yourself, but that's across the board for everyone, for every manager.
If you don't have other coaches, then you're never going to learn those. You just even the coaches at the basics of levels of coaching, like schoolboys, you pick some up from them.
You have to take a snip, and I'd like to think, and I actually know that the Air Saturday boys and other people that might have designs and managing are watching me and saying, "Well, he's good at this, he's good at that. He's a bit of a madman here, so we'll leave that, but we'll take this," you know, and that's how you do it. And but we won the Liddy, and it was really good. I actually think I had a great season, and really played really well in the final. We beat a really good class that day.
You should have got man of the match that day.
I think so, Al. Yeah, I think so. That would have been the
no disrespect to James.
No,
I thought you were
that day I was really good. Yeah, and we had a great run to that final. We beat Kevin's, a good Kevin side. Beat Ballymun and Pennos. Ballymun were winning so much back then, lads, that I was in Villamora with Davey and Paulie Kane in April, and I was telling them about the time with a few drinks on it. We won the Liddy. I said, we beat you in the penalties in the quarters, and he goes, I can't remember that, pal. But to us it was like, he couldn't remember. He was at the winning so much that I can't remember that. We were at the beating them in penalties, because I remember.
And that's a highlight.
Yeah, because I was at the having a ding dong off Richie Kelly that day, you know, and And I'd managed to survive the game and extra time to take a penalty. We won in the semi-final. I think we beat Bosco. Murray got a late winner in extra time. And then in the final we beat Colesta, who had 7 internationals. Even the fella marking me was a junior international. Shane Dunn, I think his name was.
Right full.
He was marking me now. But sometimes you just have somebody's number, and we had their number because a few days earlier we were at the thumping them down in Haddon Park in the league, 4-0. Chandler was at the doing a big over. Played himself. Played himself centre half. Down in Haddon Park, you know. We were
throwing the elbows around.
Machete elbows, just throwing them out.
Building the ball over the fucking
over
the train station.
Class. But yeah, and then we won that, and we had a right howly in the Drake. Brilliant. And again, similar enough to the schoolboy career. Nearly climbed the mountain early and thought, you know, this is it, we're happy enough with this, and it went down. Well, it peaks and troughs, but
why do you think it went down now at this stage? See your disbelief obviously on schoolboy times, a little bit kind of immature.
Yeah. Well, that left the team that we had.
On you yourself. So what happens after that with the team? We didn't kick on, obviously.
No, we didn't kick on, but we were.
Chandler left.
We were so good. We were like it was such a good blend. Similar enough to the current team I managed. Like it had a bit of everything. Like you had Stevie and Paul Lynch in the middle, who by all accounts are not your most creative midfielders. They're not. Like, well, it's my eye, they're not. They're not a king cabinet as such, you know. But they're good. They'll get their Key Malone's more so than they'll get around, and they'll tackle, and they'll compete, and they'll live. They'll dog it out, and they'll, you know, sometimes there's dogs and sometimes there's artists. That's what I say, you know what I mean? And you had a few. Murray was an artist back then. He was a really technical player, but carried himself like a man physically, you know. Jamesy, myself, that was the front three. You know, it's a pretty good front three if you were to get all things in a row behind you. You know, we got Bill and Peter and Gadge and Vinny Dowdall were the fullbacks, and and then the boys in the middle. It's a proper side, and we probably don't know why we didn't kick on. Maybe the next year, like I think Chandler went to Usher the next year. You know, he actually did go to Usher next year, and I followed him. You know, and one or two might have followed him as well. I can't remember who exactly. Barry was coming through. He stayed actually. Joe came to Usher, and it just fizzled out. Murray came to Usher. Me and Murray went. And then, I don't know. Well, I can't pinpoint it.
You said the recession kind of hits around that time, does it?
There was a major part in it.
Yeah,
the recession hit, you know, because people were broke and we needed money.
You're probably in your apprenticeship or finishing apprenticeship at that stage.
Yeah, so finishing. And when you finish,
so life probably just got in the way.
Life got in the way, but it's no real excuse.
Joe Fox's bedroom.
I was going to say the shin.
No, wasn't it at that? At this time we were
did.
hanging around and we were young and we were going out every Saturday, and I remember us going training.
Yeah.
I'd come over after work. You'd get the Snickers off. You'd fly over and you'd sit in Joe's room for an hour or two. Johnny, you'd be there after work, and I'd be right, lads. I'm off. I'm going training. And you'd be like, I'm not gonna go. And I used to be looking at him because I knew of his ability and his capabilities. I used to even say it to him. We'd have conversations, and I used to say, "Coach, why don't you just go? Come on, come up to West.
Never
sign. Come on, just put it in." Or,
never, ever. Like there was that. I'd say maybe from 23, maybe 26. I just didn't apply myself at all. Just literally down till.
It's like you lost it.
The Alfred used to go and pour pots of water off my head. And he would sit there on the edge of the bed and say, I can't play football. Yeah. If I could play football the way you play football, I'd be doing it all the time. And it all registered. It was like a memory card in my head where it stayed there, and then it ate away at me, you know.
And because you loved football.
I loved it.
You loved watching it. You loved talking about it.
I loved it.
Even when you weren't fully at it. If you were playing for Russia and you weren't going training, you were going to some matches, and we were at WEFTA, and you were always first one to ring or to talk about our game that you were probably up watching and probably didn't go to your own game. Do you know what I mean? And when I said it to you umpteen times, I said, Johnny, you're going to be either an unbelievable manager or an unbelievable sports pundit analysis, because you loved the game and had so much knowledge of the game.
It was the head was
tactically wise.
I think that I do feel like that goes under the radar. I think that people look at me and go,
he's a motivator.
He's passionate, he's intense.
There was always more there.
Yeah, I was always a thinker. Always was a thinker, you know. But yeah, so then that just happened, and I think I might have took a little break. I think I met Danielle. And I took a break, and as I said, work was limited. And then I decided, I think, I don't know, Facebook was starting all to come back, and or it'd be a thing, and I got chatting to people, and I decided to go back to Mellows. Tocky was gone in at Mellows, and a few of them going back to Mellows, and went over to Mellows, and it was brilliant. You know, some of the old people are still there. Vinny was there, Homer, Stewie Kelly, they were still there. The Bear was there, character, the dress. It was a great dress now. You know, a dressing where you could learn a lot. Like you could kind of, well, the guy's a man anyway, but there was much bigger men and personalities in it than me. Gray was coming through, you know, and he was a proper player. Talkie Junflet, and we were good. Gago, Stephen Gago, not the League of Ireland. The other Gago.
Nephew. No, he's his nephew, isn't he?
I don't even know whether they're related. I don't even think they are.
Oh no, that's Stephen Gago. No,
the
right winger in Australia.
Really good. In Australia, proper brilliant player. Yeah. Brilliant. But he was on that team. Miffy was on that team.
Canu
came later. Yeah. And we had a bit of a team here, you know, and we were in Premier C, and we hit the ground running. We were doing really well, and we ended up winning Premier C. Again, we had to beat a team called Strand Athletic. Don't know if you're familiar with them. No. We had to beat them in the last game of the season up in Larney. Larney was like it is now. It was class. But it was 3-3 we had to win, and we got a penalty in the 90th minute. And I took it, and there was a massive crowd behind the goal. Not like the crowds now, but a big crowd. But my dad was behind the goal, and the whole lot. And Danielle was behind the goal. I was with Danielle now, you know. Alan was maybe fucking 4 or something, I'd say he was, if even. But I scored the penalty, and it was fucking euphoria again, you know, and promoted to Premier B. Like that, the summer came. Scaled the mountaintop again. It's just fucking Jack again here, you know what I mean? Just switched off again. Didn't go back for the next season. Could be nearly 29 now, maybe at this stage. Just didn't go back. Just we've done it again. We've climbed the mountain again. So we were Liddy pocketed Premier C. So look, they're not spectacular to write home about, but they were huge for me.
For the club, though.
For the club. It was Mellows' thing first ever league title. As far as I'm aware, it was, you know. Again, so I went back about me business and did nothing, and then I changed job. Bella was born, changed job, got a really, really good job. So I was hell bent on that, you know. This is now you're 29, sorry, to focus on your career. And then I met a fella called Swinney in the job, a new fella, and I was like, I played a bit of ball, and the usual crap, you know, the crap talk. I played ball, and he was like, I play football for a team in Crumlin, you know. And I was like, here, and he's like, Yellowstone.
And Danielle's from Crumlin.
She's from Crumlin, but I had no idea who they were. I had no knowledge whatsoever of the Leinster Senior League. None, zero. Didn't know it. Like, you know, I was an AUL man. And they were down a bit. I think they were Premier 1 or Premier Sunday or something like that. But I went there and I played football with him but I loved it. I loved it. Like, it was one of my favourite times. I won't lie.
Really,
football,
No one probably knew anything about you.
Nobody knew anything about me, and it was a complete reset, and it was like that. This fella's, he's a great player, you know. But I was 30 now, nearly, or something like that, or close to 30, and I had Bella, you know, and it was a good job, and I was happy, and we used to train down in the flats in Rialto, but it was great. It was tight, and it was, people would hit you, but you were a little bit better than them at the level, so you could get away from them, or stick it to their legs or something, or whatever, you know, something like.
Just one with that bit more.
Yes, exactly. But you know, if you do that to a really, really top player, they're gonna fucking let you feel it. But if it's a little bit lower down, they can't quite get to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or even I sometimes say to Al, you know, about people being physical, as in, he'd box the head off you, but there's football strength is totally different.
Yeah.
Like a footballer would fucking fold you.
Yeah.
Would, you know. But so I loved that. We trained and we had a good team. We done well in the league. I was starting to really love it again and getting a feel for the LSL. I love the LSL now. When I was an encyclopedia for it, I started following his career. I started following Al's career. That's what I was doing, because he was now an LSL man, and it could have been around that time. But you would have had a conversation with me going, I'm thinking about going here or there, and we were speaking a good bit. But played for them. we went on the Lumia O'Reilly Cup. I ended up winning that as a player. And we beat Wayside in the final for Yellowstone. And I scored. And it was just brilliant, you know. But that team was aging. They were all getting old together. And there wasn't much coming through at Yellowstone. I was thinking, look, it's maybe time for me to pack it in. But I was getting a right horn for thinking, I can manage here. Now, I was at this stage at Yellowstone, say maybe 33. I decided to stop training. And I was just playing. I was getting my game and I was just playing. I said, you know, I'd be into it. As I said, I was watching his career intently. I could have told you every player in the top LSL league. I'd totally given up on the AWL. I was switched on. I was now a Southsider essentially, and I knew everything about Crumlin, Bluebell, all in Wayside, and then obviously Croc I'd keep an eye on then at Mocktus or whatever. So I was gathering it all. I knew who was great. You know, the likes of, say, James Lee and Tony and Dean O'Kelly and all these great players, yourself. And I knew all about them. And they had no idea who I was, maybe. No idea, but I knew them. And in the back of my sick mind, I was thinking, I'm coming for them. I'm coming for them. I'm gonna get there, you know. Like, now, obviously knew I couldn't get there as a player, but I had a different little weird thing going on.
Switch of the mind, then, yeah.
So I did think I ended up then by chance then taking over as manager of Yellowstone, and I loved it. I was intense, but I was extremely naive. Like, I think the more you win, or the more you get used to winning, or you're around winners, the more humble you become, you know. I'd say this is probably the most humble I've ever been. But I was naive then, and I was defensive, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I can do this, I'll do it my way, and successful to a degree. And then COVID hit, and nothing was happening. But then the league came back, and I had assembled a little bit of my own twist on this. So I'd branched out. I'd got players in. I'd got Thomas Cooney in. I'd got lads out of a job that weren't associated with Yellowstone. I'd got them in. I'd got young Gav Doyle in, like, you know, because he through work as well. Other players, I'd handpicked people and got them in, and the league restarted, and it was decent. It was Premier Sunday, Ballyoust or Montpellier. Could have been Enniskerry, I don't know. But when it restarted, we were 11 points behind Montpellier, and we just went on a rattle. We were winning games, and I was intense in training and really getting stuck in with them. You know what I'm like, you know, hands on, and we were ready, and like that, it was a furnace.
And you're doing it on your own,
doing it on my own, everything, doing it on my own, and it was a furnace. Now, with great help, there was players there that were a great help for me. I mean, I have some great friends from Yellowstone, you know, still to this day, and but I had a siege mentality. I mean, Montpellier were 11 points clear, and we rattled off. We just put a bit of pressure on them.
Yeah.
And then we went down to Gormo and beat them. And I think it moved the gap down to, like, we were 5 points behind with maybe 4 to go. But we won all the way home. They start drawing. And lo and behold, the last game of the season, you win the league. You snatch it from them, you know. So, and we went and we won the league, and like the feeling I got from it was, I'd say it probably surpassed any of the trophies I'd won playing, to be honest with you, you know. And it was a big deal, and then that was great, and we'd won that, and I was ready to go again, and we were strengthening and whatever have you. And then look, it maybe it ended on a sour note, but there was a lot of learning in it, you know, in the whole thing. And myself personally, since then I've gone there in regard, forget football, in regard to everything, in my own mental state, my head, and as a man, like, you know, to think that you think you have it worked out, but you don't, like, you know. And I'm a count to 10 kind of fella now.
More grounded now, you are, aren't you?
Much more. But I feel like when you're starting out, it's got to be siege mentality. It's got, if you want to get there, you know, you want to get to the top, you've got to not annoy people is the wrong word. You've got to rub people up the wrong way, because you're not going to get
whether you're doing it on purpose or not,
or subconsciously.
You're going to learn from them mistakes of rubbing people.
I genuinely think I was doing it subconsciously.
I think you're doing it on purpose, because me and you and they came to blows up and Laddie.
Yeah.
That was just, I think just me and you had a couple things on Facebook back and forth, and it would build up. But I think,
of course,
your mental warfare that you had on us, that you had us built up.
Of course,
James, young Graham Lee went down. Yeah. He took the ball off, gave him a little kick here, there. We went to there.
Is this Yellowstone version?
Yeah, we went to one day.
So I was sent off. I was only on the team about 5 minutes. I was sent off. poor Jay Lee was running across the pitch like that,
To
trying
kill me.
to kill him.
And guess who was coming to save me, or not to save me, to protect me? 2 people in the ground watching.
John O'Casey
and Greg Cullen.
Yeah.
Greg watched the game on the Yellowstone side at the time because he had allegiance to me as such. Because he was Mellows and they didn't try.
But I was saying though, the way you was saying, wind people up there, you won that battle before the game was even kicked off there, because we were sucked into it.
Yeah,
and he's fuck this and fuck that, and we said we're gonna beat no matter what. First bit, and it must be between that was straight in. Throwing digs. I was not throwing digs.
To me, but like,
it was a league game. Yeah,
there's 5 or 6 Finglas United players and management coming for me. Just me.
Yeah.
And my players are on the pitch, zoned in.
Yeah.
But still, to a degree, I still do it. I would still.
I was just gonna say that. See, obviously, we talked about your Facebook post that you put up there, and the picture itself. Is that deflection thing where you're kind of saying like, listen, I'll take the pressure off this, and let the lads do their own thing.
Yeah.
Because listen, everything you've done in football and with things at the moment, it's fucking brilliant now. But there is that sort of things, but
of course
you deserve to have that sort of things. But there is times where you say to yourself like, is this too much? But I think it's probably the deflection off the lads.
No, it is deflection. I wouldn't say I do it now as such. I think now there's no self promotion now. I'm not in a position now where I feel I need it. To be honest with you, I don't get satisfaction from it. Say, for example, I'm portraying like as I said earlier, I'm really grateful for where I am. But fuck me, I've worked for it.
Yeah.
And I've been on the floor. I've been on the floor, and Danielle dragged me off the floor. Like she dragged me off the floor. Where I was probably in a case where, you know what, I'll bury the head in the sand here. I'll close the door. I'll live my life. I'll go to work, come home, and have family life.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. You know. But there was too much burning inside me.
Yeah.
Too much for the game to go no. So she dragged me off the floor and she goes, go back at it. Yeah. And then the next thing, you know, Barry reaches out to me. Barry McGowan, like Barry's one of my best mates all my life. Would you be interested in a conversation with Gar? You know? And I was like, with Gar who? Like with Gar Christian? It's like, yeah, why not? And I said it to Danielle. And she's like, are you sure now, you know? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I think we'll have a conversation. So me and Gar got chatting, and me and Gar still chat regularly now, you know, about football. He's a good football man, Gar. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe he thought, like, I'll bring him in, he might bring 1 or 2 of the better lads that were there at Yellowstone. Because everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own, you know. I'm a good man, I'm going to bring him in, but where does it benefit us, you know? Because I'm a big personality. So if you're bringing me in to manage
I'm coming in.
Yeah. Regardless. Heavy. I'm all or nothing, you know, and I would have thought about it. And I did think about it. And I came in, and myself and Gar, and I kind of went in like a coaching capacity as such, but I was always a manager, you know, like went in and I was taking a session early, but I was really, really enthusiastic, you know. I'd come from, I wasn't in, my head was in a bit of a bad space when I come, and then I'm going, well, I'm in the door now, we're fucking, this is where I've always wanted to be, we're going to kick on, you know, you could stick your fucking chest out. And let these fucking people know what you're about. Let people know what you're about. You know, let people see what you're really about. Because you can have an image of me, and it's all wrong until you actually meet me.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and it is.
I totally agree with that. And as I said again, I was only going on to the Facebook thing. Yeah. Because that's what people see. Yeah. They don't see this side of it.
Of course.
And as Al said, did you see the story about your DDSL, but you don't know the full story.
Yeah.
Of it, so
I'll tell you this. I would say any player that's come in contact with me at Finglas United would have the utmost respect, would they?
There's not, like, we only had this conversation only a couple of weeks ago. Anyone that has came under you as a player, I don't think anybody from my experience that I've been there, and you probably only there a year before me anyway. Nobody has been hard done by on playing time.
It's black and white.
It's, if you're good enough, it's not, you're gonna play.
You're gonna
play.
It's
nothing is gonna
play.
We're saying this the last word. I mean, nothing is gonna pass you.
So so go back to that. I went in at the 1B season, but I had seen it and I was aware of it, and I knew what was in the room, and I got really excited. I got re-energized by it. I was like,
and I'm just sorry for coming across and going back to what you said even prior. I don't know whether it was before or else it was during while we were recording, but you wanted to be there.
Oh,
you
big time.
wanted that.
Big
like when
time.
you're managing, you're saying this is my
was the
job.
Holy Grail for
You
me.
said it to Nelson.
It's a Liverpool
You
job.
said it to Nelson.
This was it.
I want that job.
That was the one
You
I
had
want.
the conversations with him.
8
This is
years
before.
ago.
8 years ago. there you go.
8 years or 5 years before.
And how long now you with Finglas? 4? 5?
This is my fourth
This is the fourth season
Fourth
only.
season, yeah. This is my fourth season, yeah. So I came in the door, Al, and again I was taking a lot of the training, and I was loving it. And I said to Barry that I had these things in my head, like the catchment area is huge. It's Finglas. We have the ability. We have the players. I'll change the psyche.
Yeah,
like,
we need to change this.
I'll change the psyche here. I will do it. You know. So I'm sitting in.
I had been there probably for a few weeks when I left Crumlin. I wasn't having a great little spell at Crumlin. I left and came back to Finglas United. And as a player, because a few of the lads were there. Don't know where Nelson, you could have been there, but Daz was there, Murray or Keith Hannett and all. And I was like, just go and play with your mates. Drop back down. All of a sudden, all the lads went missing, so I'm left with all the younger crew. All the likes of Fossey and Lee Corley and Dano, all them lads that were probably still all floating around now, were all there to bringing that team kind of up. And I was kind of left with them, and I was like, they weren't ready to progress.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They really weren't. They weren't ready to go up to do what they've done now.
Yeah.
But I think you changed that when you came in and switched the mentality and switched what you had to say in there. Let's get it all together.
The whole psyche,
The whole lot of it. That you're at the transform and that, and bringing them to be ready. And now they're not ready. They're ready. They're in it now.
Yeah, they're in it.
They're in it.
Yeah, I don't think I know.
So they were prepared all the way through that. But I think you changed that, because I had been there prior and didn't see any of that.
I was and
they definitely weren't ready, because I tried to get the mans out of them and I couldn't.
No,
as a
I knew that, and I knew it would be a process. There's nobody who would have thought that we would be where we are now today. There's not in this time. There's not, and myself included. As much as a dreamer as I am, there's not. But that's not down to me. That's I played a part in it, but it's a total collective. But I could probably see it before other people. You know, I'm such an optimist when it comes to stuff like this, that I'm just manifesting and I'm telling myself it's going to happen. Because why the hell not? Yeah. Why not? Like just say, yeah, it is. I'm thinking Finglas, catchment area, huge. They've loads of pedigree. They're good players. I'll make them believe that they can do X, Y, and Z, and everything will fall into place. So we did it, and we ramped up training, and it was really good. And we started 1B, and it was a difficult league. I have to say, it was a difficult league. And we started really slow, and you're second guessing everything. Up to this day, is any defeat you'll second guess and think, I should have done this, or I should have done that. So I think we had a slow start, and then we rattled off a good few wins, and the games were getting called off because of the weather. I remember in the 1B season, and we were right bang. We were in the relegation zone, I think, at Christmas. And again, I sent a fella in the job a message. He was like, you're going to relegate Finglas, messing. He was a good friend. And I replied to him, and I have the screenshot, I sent it back to him. I replied to him, we'll be promoted, minimum. I replied to him at Christmas. So then after Christmas it came, we had a good chat, and we spoke to the players, and they were young. Al's right, they were young, you saying it, and we just take a bit of accountability, and let's not have this victim mentality all the time, and that what's not happening for us, or we're going to sort this out, and we're going to sort it out now ourselves. So 1 win becomes 2 wins, becomes 5 wins, and then when the momentum is everything in football, and before you know it, Oliver Bond have hit a bit of a spot. They look like, for all accounts, they were going to win that 1B, and our focus was on promotion. But they hit the roadblocks, and we thought, we got a sniff here, we can go for it, We kept winning, and I think we were up to 12 wins in a row, and the Instagram was gathering real pace, and 12 in a row, and next up is whatever, and 13 in a row. But Kilmore were matching us. They're going win for win. Mario, they're going win for win. And Ballyfermot were there, and Rush were there, and it could have been, and Oliver Bond had dropped off a bit, and it could have been any 3 from 4 to get promoted, or any 1 from 4 to win it. So we're going, fuck, this is mental. So we got right up to the second last game of the season, and we had 14 wins in a row, and we went away to Rush, and we lost. We lost. We were brilliant up there. We lost. They got a mad. Their keeper was sent off. Couldn't put the ball in the net. And our heads were gone. We were deflated, but we thought, like, we beat Dublin University, we'll get promoted. Results went away, and then it just became the last weekend of the season. Ballyfermot are going away to Kilmore. Finglas
They played on the Friday night and you were the Sunday.
We were the Sunday. And we all make our way out there. And but the Daily Dose, is it Darden who does the photos? He's becoming on the scene. He's there. There's pandemonium. My dad's not well at the time, he's sick, but he's in Beaumont, which is only around the corner from the Oscar trainer, and he video calls me, he's really unwell at the time, but he video calls me, he's like this, you up the Ballia, we're on video call with the team, to me dad, I'm back and I'm in Finglas and everything is great, you know what I mean, but fucking Kilmore are winning, and then a 90 odd minute of death, big Doyag, centre forward or winger off Ballia, he's up like a salmon, bang, powers the header into the net, and I mean saints. Can you remember it?
Ballyfermot players ran over
all
to
the Ballyfermot players ran to
Finglas.
And it's
watching it.
There's
a photo
of
Troy. I think Troy is holding somebody.
But it's absolute sage.
Player.
But it's sage, and I'm really invested in it, and we all are. We're brilliant, and that rolled us into the Sunday then against Dublin University.
You're obsessed with it, aren't you, John? You're obsessed with it.
I am obsessed with it.
Obsessed with it, yeah.
And then it rolled into the Sunday, and we Dublin University, they never stood a chance. It was their worst performance of the season. But we were 4-0 up in 20 minutes. The ball was just being blown into the net. Like it was just happening. And as I said, we had broke my dad out of the hospital. He was in a wheelchair. He came up and he was passed away shortly after it. But we have the photos. We have the memories. I remember originally going into Finglas and speaking to Danielle, and if only could tell you what she's done for me football wise. But I went and spoke to my dad. I'm like this. I'm enthusiastic, and I'm telling me that, go and do this, go and do that, go and that. And he's going, just relax, son. Don't sell them a dream that you can't deliver, type thing. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm going to do it. But then he was watching every result as we went, and we nailed it. And then a couple of weeks later, we played. We got to the Lumley final that year as well.
That's so sure.
But we were definitely not ready yet for the Usher of that time. That was prime Usher in my opinion. But it was still a cup final, and we an experience.
It was a free hit. It was a free hit at that game, wasn't it? You had to win in the league,
free hit,
and just end the season in a cup final.
Free hit, yeah. And I think that was the day you thought, I'm back. You were at the game watching, and I think you were thinking in your head, right? I
spoke to you walking off the pitch at half time.
You were giving me advice, and that I think in many ways, like for the likes of yourself, lieutenants like you, Nelly, Barr, Murray, definitely Gray, Connor, Owen Humphreys, I can name all of them, Adam, Anton, all of them, lieutenants. I think I am an open book in the sense that I will listen. I will definitely listen, like, you know what I mean? Like if you feel like somebody's saying something, I'll compromise. And you remember you speaking to me at half time, and thinking about it, and I actually, the penny dropped gone, I reckon he's definitely going to come back as well. So then as things transpired over the next few weeks, the season ends. Garrett moves on to Ballymun in the summer. My outlet passed away, so it was again. It was nearly you reached the mountaintop.
Yeah. And
here we go again. It was.
How did you feel the transition there with Garrett? Was it like, right, it's okay, you go, Garrett, it's my turn. I'm gonna do this.
It was seamless. Gar gave me the conversation. Gar gave me the phone call. He knew me. He's a good skin in regards to stuff like this. He knew about me, dad, and he's understanding, and what's the word? He's caring. Gar's a caring man in that sense, like, and he got it, and he I'm going to Ballymun, but it wasn't like, are you coming to Ballymun with me? He was nearly going, it's your gig, you've earned it, type thing. He was like, this was the conversation, But it's so much going on with dad, and I was like, no, so I'm going to speak to Danielle and my man, all. But as you said, I love it, I need it, I'm invested in it. So I says, yeah.
I think no matter what is going on in your life,
I need it.
You need that.
Just about to say, you need it for that stage,
You need it and want it, where it's now. Rewind back 15, 20 years ago when you were a player, like you said, 28, 27. I'll just take leave it. Now you want it and you need it.
Of course, take it or leave it. And then that was that, and then that was me set. It really helped me with me that in regards to the grieving. part of it really, really helped me, you know. And John was going through something similar, and we became allies nearly, myself and John.
John
and
Fox.
we had John Fox, yeah.
And you wouldn't have really had a relationship
No,
before then?
but it became a really close relationship, you know, like, and we...
That's a grieving kind of...
Grieving together.
Yeah, grieving together.
Well,
But that
John's
makes...
wife passed and passed in like a week.
Yeah, I found out...
Was that the day of the funeral?
Day of John's funeral, I found out.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I got the phone call at church.
Yeah.
And we became real allies, and I had a plan. I had it in my head, and it won't be brilliant. No. What's next? I was thinking, you know. So we reset. We went again, we went one day. But I knew, I was under no illusions after speaking to you and other people that you need to strengthen here. We're going to need to bring bodies in. It's going to have to be 1B and 1A is a big difference. So I went and I saw a few bodies. Oliver Bond had gone a bit, you know, Brandon was at Oliver Bond and he had come to Finglas, and
he's a Finglas kid as well, isn't he, Brandon? And he's played schoolboy.
Finglas kid, yeah.
His name is on the
Club Player of the Year.
The
Club Player of the Year.
Is he? Yeah,
you got it.
One's on it twice.
Yeah, he was on it twice. Yeah.
Tell him to come back to me, alright?
Brandon became available, and Wacker. They were both Oliver Bonds. They became on the market. We got them in. The boys knew what they were at. Big Anto became available. Anto was Danielle's cousin. And
Anto's
he
a
texted me.
Ballymun Saturday side.
Yeah, captain of their Saturday side. And he texted me, you know, where you would fucking the Finglas manager now, yeah? It's like, yeah, so come down and so we'd Anto, Wacker, Brandon.
Just while we're at that, sorry, and we'll go back to that. Who we saw, you got in that year. I had a good conversation actually with Anto at a presentation. It might have been sooner or later than that actually. Not the last year's one, the year before. And anyways, I had a conversation with him because Anto spoke to him and he was saying, I was with the Saturday team, could never get a call up for the first team, blah blah blah. He stepped away from Saturday football, being with Ballymun, was never getting anywhere near Ballymun's first team, he said. Just stepped away, came out of his environment, went to Finglas, trusted in the process, and now he's like one of your first choice. First choice.
Last year, yeah.
With Adam centre halves now, and now he's a mainstay in the senior Sunday team.
Yeah, I know.
And sometimes your career can go that way. You can be either really good at 21 and stay at the top for the whole lot, or else you could not be. Like a lot of these players off English, they not be ready. Not ready against Usher. Yeah. And 2 years later, they're
powerhouse.
They're boss, and they are. Look, I'm not going to say too much. You don't get carried away. But they're in the top league.
Of course, we understand.
Of intermediate football now.
At a right ball edge, at you know.
Exactly, mid-20s, late 20s, some early 20s.
And we bring yourself in then. That's when you came in. And there was one or two others, and I wouldn't like to forget people. I'm not, you know, these things you can forget people, but we definitely had strengthened, and we bring people in, and it was a different dynamic. But I knew from experience of my previous job at Yellowstone that I can't do this. I can't be an intermediate manager on my own. I need now to create a little war chest. I need to put people around me, the right people around me. So everybody naturally thought he's gonna go to Al, or he's gonna go to Murray, or he's gonna go to Barry, or he's gonna go somewhere where he's comfortable, his friends, or somebody that's not nearly a yes, but it's going.
We spoke about this.
I thought completely outside the box. So the way you kind of thought about me, as in he knows his football, he's going to be a manager. I had them exact same feelings about Gray Cullen. Every time Gray spoke football to me, I was intrigued. Always was. Like I always thought. And there's a lot of people talking to you, and you wouldn't really listen. Or yeah. When Gray spoke about football, I was
sport in general. He's brilliant at every sport.
So I approached him and said, "Would you be interested in coming in and doing the gig with me?" And he was only too happy. He was buzzing. It was an opportunity that, you know, something you're not going to get. You got to work for generally. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I valued his opinion on everything. I really did. In particular, football and players. But I knew that he wasn't a coach either, and I wasn't a coach. And I knew that we needed, and Gar had told me, and I didn't really believe him when he said it. You need 3 or 4. It was always because where I'd come from. No, well, I'm the manager, you know. But so I knew I needed another person. So
isn't it well and good having 3 and 4, but if you don't have, or I know where you're coming to now, if you don't have what you're getting to hear now
Yeah.
of a top coach.
Yeah,
And
you're bunched.
you'll
You'll only get
you only get as far.
You'll only get to X.
Yes.
You know, you'll never go beyond. You know, so I'd got really close with, say, Sean Tierney in the 1B season. He'd come in from Tull, he was playing Saturday. I'd seen him in training, brought him up to the first team, had a great season. Essentially, me first signing into 1B. So now, by the time 1A comes along, me and Sean are friends, and we would talk a good bit. And Sean says, "My mate Parnell's he's a great coach, you know. So just give us his number." So I text him, and I knew a bit of his background with Tolka. Arranged to have a meeting with him in Larney, presentation type meeting. You were there.
No, I wasn't there, but
Crockett was there.
Crockett was there.
We asked
yeah,
you.
Crockett, I couldn't
I
make
asked
it
you.
up.
I asked you.
But you got on to me straight away.
So I put together like a little brain trust type thing, you know. So we says we'll go up, we'll have a chat, see what it's about. Connor rocks in. I'd never really spoke to him before. Rocks in, decks out FUI, sits down at the table in Larney, cracks open a laptop. I'm going, good luck. This fella's
Get out.
get out of here, you. So anyway, his presentation as in, this is exactly what I think I can bring to the table. This is the kind of dynamic I would take towards training. He kind of logs everything and ledgers everything. He's brilliant in that regard, and he's your way for B coach. You know, at the end of the day, he is. Really.
That's when you text me after. I asked you straight away. As he got his badges, and you text back your way for being. I went, yes.
Lovely. Yeah. Now I can coach all day long, but I'm not. I don't really have that much interest in it. But if I need to make a session,
I can do a session. Yeah,
of course, and I will.
I think you need a different manager coach.
Differentiate,
You
you do.
because if you don't,
You do.
the lines become blurred.
Yeah.
And
Let's not.
You don't know who's doing what.
Of course, but let's not.
Job.
Every session I'm involved in, I'll tell you that. Even though I'm not coaching, we would have a session plan for every single night session, and I'm
watching every session.
I always do the session. I always do the shooting, but I watch every single session. I watch it, and if I feel like it's not red hot, I will let people know. That'd be better.
So we can hear that myself.
Yeah,
there, John,
whether that be Conor, Graham, or the players, I'll let them know.
Yeah.
You know. So we had that meeting, and I'll be honest, I was blown away, and I knew I had Gray locked in. I was blown away by Conor. Right. And then I got home, texted him, are you interested? And he was like, great, he couldn't wait for the opportunity to be intermediate. He is way more excitable than me. Every weekend, he's so excited. You're going for 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, we're going for breakfast. You whip out the laptop, you have the team sheet, you have the set pieces, we're going through it. It's wonderful, I love it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's where coaching has evolved.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The likes of having the tool, the great tool as I call it, for the VO, like having a coach to be able to control all that and have all that what Conor does.
Of course.
That's where it's all evolving.
It's next level, it is. But as you said, to differentiate, like I don't think, not yet anyway. I think Conor and Gray are definitely watching me in the sense that if they want to get into management, they need
pick the tools from you, what suits them. Yeah.
So that was the army set in stone. We had Pudgy then, I had Al, I had John and Jay and Mick, and I just felt like I was tooled up. I felt like I'm coming now. I'm going to come now. Try stop me. That was my mindset, you know. Yeah. And it might be silly, and it can blow up on you, but that's me. That's me, you know. So I'm thinking, I'm tooled up, I'm kitted up here, and then I know what's in that dressing room. I know Ivory's starting to ripe. I know Dano's starting to ripe. I know Malone and the boys, they're coming to the fire. They're coming. So it's nearly all taking shape. So 1A, and it was a tough league. Because we had brought in so many new personnel, playing wise and staff wise, we started really slowly. We were beaten 3-2 3 times in the first 3 games. 2-0 up against Collinsdown opening game, lost 3-2. 2-0 up against Newbridge, lost 3-2. I think we were 2-0 up elsewhere, somewhere else, and lost 3-2. This is all the foot, and I'm going, oh, bollocks. You know, like I'm going, bollocks. Again, we drew Ballymun in the Intermediate Cup, and away from the league. They were division above us at the time. They were senior 1 and we were 1A.
Yeah.
And we were at the losing all of their games, and we had them in the Intermediate Cup in Larney, and the place was rammed, and I was under massive pressure.
The feeling around
I was putting myself under massive pressure.
Go back to when you're 12 years of age with the
yeah. But this was different pressure. I was definitely ready for where I was, but I was a result of waiting, going maybe.
Yeah.
maybe not. maybe you're gonna get sacked.
Connor, you and the laptop can go.
Yeah, maybe you're gonna get sacked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that. And I was thinking, and it was a huge game. And I had said,
Ballymon were a league above.
Garrett
was at the goal.
There was a bit of needle.
It's a local derby as well. If you,
it was the first lot. You stated in the dressing room. It was the first time Ballymon and Finglas have met since back in the AUL.
And I referenced it. And I was, but I did not show 1 ounce of weakness them players ever. To this day, I haven't. Me saying this now, they would have never thought that he was unfair of his job type thing. They'd only hear this now.
Yeah, I'm surprised hearing it now.
Yeah. But my mind was that, and I rallied them and I had them set for fire. But I had done that the other games and we'd lost.
Yeah.
In the league. But there was something different, and I said, lads, if people, and let's just touch on a few things and say, you've lost your league games. If people can beat you with a stick, they will. They'll twist a knife. Let me see what you're about. He turns around to me, and now when I'm good in the dressing room, I've no issue saying, oh yeah, I know I am. It's my strong point. Al turns around to me 3 minutes before kick off. Can you leave me too for a minute? I was like, oh, needed this. Absolutely. I just went for the dressing room door. Al got them all around the physio table. We gave them another war cry. We went out, FUI Intermediate Cup game, packed Larney. And we done a number on them. Essentially, we did. We were really good on the day. First, Dino got straight at your man down the side. And the home side of Larney Park is an absolute nightmare for any left foot. Up to the weekend gone even. It's a nightmare. It's very hard. It's difficult. It's a hard place to play now. So Dino got right at him and he was on a bomb. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Flying. Great class. The day the man sent off, then they got a goal late on then. Alameda Howler. And we won the game 3-1, and from there on in 1A like that we just caught fire again. We caught fire. We went on a bit of a run, put ourselves in a decent enough position. It was decent. It wasn't like it was nothing. We weren't considering promotion like at Christmas or anything like that. But then as it materialised, a few results went south then after the buzz of it, and we had a game away to Paul's in the could have been in the Lummy again because we were still 1A. Remember it?
Paul
had to bring in our town, out in Kilbarrack,
straight after Christmas.
And it was straight after Christmas, and there was people away, and I was at the end of my tether.
We didn't have a great comeback, after Christmas.
Yeah.
After Christmas, everybody
we couldn't get in. We couldn't get a team,
and it comes back, and then all of a sudden you're like, Jesus, we've only 12, 13 players here.
So I pulled it in, and I knew what I was given to the job. I knew what I was committing. And I had built up such a relationship with the players now on a personal level and on a football level that I knew they trusted and respected me. And I said, lads, unless this changes, unless you commit to what I'm asking for here is crazy training and application through the roof, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to walk. This was out on our time we had lost. I had to bring Al on, he was injured, and Dean Thomas on, he was injured, and when we got beaten. But anyway, after that, exactly like what had happened in 1B, 20 training every week relentlessly and going crazy. They always trained well. They always did. They always showed up in the numbers. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Castleknock game,
5.
wasn't it?
Castleknock up in
February. Yeah,
McKelvey. That was in February.
Doyag from Adam Clark hit.
And Dino's touch.
Yeah.
This is when I went, wow, in a half time. It might have been full time actually. We came in after playing Castleknock, and this is just kind of after we kind of had a little bad spell because Castleknock is the one that kicked us on. And we went in a half time. Didn't have a great first half in Castleknock. Like, we were missing chances. We should have went up.
Definitely.
And you got us a half time. And I was at the scene prior into a few games all the way through it when you get your team talk. And I was looking around the dressing room and I was watching them all of how engaged they were with you. And it's like you have this, I don't know whether you even know you have it right or else it's built into you, or I don't know if you get it from John or Casey, if you get it from Chandler, or you have a trait, or else it's just instinct. You have this thing where when you see something wrong, you know exactly what to say and how to get a reaction. Now, I don't know whether it's just a reaction out of them players because they look at you in awe, or you have that hold over them, or else it's a skill. It's one or the other. Because whatever you've done at half time, against Castleknock, I was kind of looking around. I was like, fuck, they're all engaged here. Like he's at the nailing in with exactly when he needed to, and everything that you said was on point. And then we went out, and it was like a completely different team. Bang! And I'm at the seeing that now.
Yeah.
Umpteen times now through the last 2 years,
expecting it.
and even with me missing the injury, being out injured last year, and when I'm in the half time in the dressing room and it's 0-0 or you're down 2-1, you're down 2-0, it's bang.
Yeah. How many times have we scored early in the second half?
And then
how many times have we scored in the first 10 minutes?
If it doesn't happen at half time, if it's 2-1 and it's 5-10 minutes into the second half, bang, empty the clip, 3 subs on. 5 subs on.
I always do. I've done 5 subs.
And you're coming out of the game to win. So it's like, it's either a skill or something you're at the generating from somebody else or wherever it is. But I haven't seen
it. Else he just developed it himself.
Instinct, maybe.
Yeah, instinct. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen that.
There's no fear.
Any manager.
It's fearlessness.
That I've been with.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a manager to be able to turn a screw like that.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and I think that's where we went with that. We ran with it, and look, I think I wanted to touch on this on the podcast, to be honest. I was saying about my career, and I was never nowhere near close to getting to Senior Sunday, and I watched it and I knew all the things, and I said about Tony and James Lee and other people and knowing what they were about, and I was thinking, I'm going to get there, and I had got there and I was ready, and they didn't know me, but I was going to make them know me as a manager, definitely. But I was super grateful because I was watching on the outside going, there's no pathway for me to get to Senior Sunday. To get there, like, I'm not coached, I'm not badged up.
Yeah.
I haven't played at the top level. James's transition from Crumlin was from the Crumlin captain to Crumlin manager. Tony's a decorated.
He's left the keys of the house.
Yeah. Tony's a decorated footballer known in every circle of the LSL. He goes in at Bluebell or Inchicore or wherever the case may be. There is no pathway for me. Mario had a brilliant career, a playing career. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so my pathway wasn't there, so I had to work. I felt like I had to work tenfold.
Do you think you have to create your own pathway as in being the outgoing, the kind of antagonising manager and getting yourself noticed?
Of course.
And sure, as it works, it gave you a ladder.
Nelly, absolutely. That said, it goes full circle. If I could show you now my messages from this current summer, young managers going in different divisions, maybe 1B, Major Sunday, reaching out to me. Just on Instagram, just for like a general chat, and that's so rewarding. That's more rewarding. That's as rewarding as anything else, because they're maybe looking for a bit of a voice. We won't name names, but other lads like in other divisions, the division we were in last year, one of the managers reached out and we had a great conversation. Great lad with a brilliant mind for the game, but probably feeling a little bit deflated because the game can break you. It can break you at this level. It can break you. But going back to the point, I was looking at them going, I'm going to make them know me. Tony is a friend now. James is an alloy now. Which in the pre-season or in the summer, me and James spoke regularly about things, about my season, about his season, about potentially going into the Crumlin tournament. This is the most decorated amateur football of all time, possibly.
And it's gas when you're saying you're following my career and you're looking at all these players and you just said there beforehand nobody knew me and now
they know
you're here.
Exactly. Now, like, me and James shake hands prior to a Metro Cup final now, and you're there, but I'm not lost on the fact of how hard it was to get there. So I'm grateful I'm there. If it ended tomorrow, I wouldn't care now.
So but not saying that obviously you're there, you're at the table now, as you say all the time.
I always say I'm at that table.
There's still a lot more to go.
You need to keep eating.
Because the way you're saying is you're there, like you're at the table.
Yeah, but
so you need to fucking be ahead of the table. So no, but that's what's going to call. It's a process to get there.
And I think what you're explaining there now, some people could probably take it out of context there and probably say, he's kind of saying he's getting to there now and he's all right now, but
they don't know.
They need to know you to say, I'm here, I want to go here.
A couple of hours of me talking here wouldn't be able to illustrate that. You'd have to be with me all the time. Like you saying, we eat at the top table, and the opening game of the season, the Senior Sunday, where we never thought we could be, we're away to mock this, and the very words were, we're not here for scraps, we're here for fucking steak, we're here to eat properly, and we're here to compete. And the players know that. They know that. So anyway, we went on and Inchicore, it was a bridge too far that year to win the league, but we went up in second,
which was a great run,
which was crazy to get to senior one. And we were under no illusions, but you know, you would probably need a fucking second part to really go through what happened last year. You know, insane. We started that season as we went into it as runners up, so we were only getting promoted into that division as the second best team. Inchicore were better, and they were a good bit better. They were
more superior.
They had won the league, and they'd won the league comfortably. Whether the points said 4 points in the difference, but they had the game. They had the league won early doors. So we were going in inferior to them for a start. But Crumlin had come down, who were a juggernaut. Liffey had come down, who were essentially a big club. Home Farm had come down. So people are thinking, will they stay up?
Yeah. That's the realistic of things.
We were thinking totally different. We were thinking these lads are relentless, and they care, and they're together, and they smell it now. They can smell it, but they could have never envisaged what was coming ever. But we said, right, we'll go, and we had set ourselves. We had an unbelievable pre-season. We had played Bangor, Bluebell, Lucan. We played all the big boys, all senior Sunday games we had played, and we had more than held our own. So we were ready. We were itching for the season to start. And we opened up with Pat C.Y. at home. Dino scores this goal. Like this is a push. This is a goal like crazy. So it's kind of set.
The one over the top.
We scored 4 in the opening day.
Yeah.
I spoke to Dino when I first came in the door and told him, we'll get you 20 goals a season and we'll get you into the Ireland squad because I'm a dreamer. And he laughed in my face, you know what he's like. But lo and behold, here we are, and that's exactly where he's at.
Yeah.
That's exactly where he's at. But he opens the season with them goals. We make a brilliant start. I think we were 4 for 4 in senior one. And then we went away to Inchicore. And we lost, and the breaks went, wasn't it? It was Inchicore 5-1. They hammered us. They hammered us. We were 5-1. 5-1, but for the first half an hour we had absolutely passed them off the back. And we lost game 5-1. And I'm thinking again, Tony, because he classy operator.
We're falling short.
Classy operator, Tony. Brilliant manager. And so but that we put it to the side and we dealt with it really well. We get back in, and I think it's the ability of any good team is what they do after a defeat, and any good manager, you know, I think as well. So we cracked on and went on another good run, and we put ourselves in plumb position for Christmas. Like we were bang there. I think we dropped 5 points. We had dropped 5 points, and we were still going well in all the cups. And then into the new year, nothing really changed. The lads booked a trip to Tenerife. I'm sure you know.
Remember this, yeah.
It didn't sit really well with me. We came back, dropped a few points.
The first game back was Pat C.Y.
on a Wednesday. They'd only got back on the Monday. They'd only got back on the Monday. So we'd used that as a stick to bait off their heads. You know what I mean? But they had set themselves up for a potential defeat. But again, they reacted amazing. And we kept winning. And then we were banging. It was in our hands, but our fixtures were tough. Last year was Skerries away, Inchicore at home, and a couple of other tough ones. And then Inchicore came to Larney and they beat us. And I'm going,
just when we had got the edge.
We got the edge. So we had I think it was 3 or 4 games to go. And if we won our games and they won our games, we would have won it by a point. But now Crumlin were there, Ballymun were there. It wasn't just us.
Skerries would look for
Skerries were there. It wasn't.
Now I probably haven't followed senior one an awful lot to know, but that had to be in the most competitive senior one.
You was there on the inside of this now, so obviously ourselves and a couple of the supporters, the low supporters are up there, the old lads that be there. Is for us to watch from the outside. It was fucking like a pantomime. It was unbelievable.
Crazy.
And
it felt like it was all documented or something. It felt like it was.
But every goal that you score or is conceded, we felt that.
Feeling it.
We played with the club for so long, but these lads that are up there have been watching this for the last few years.
That's a community.
That's I feel like that was building, and we were doing that, and it was nearly like I don't know what the word is, or conductor, just rallying, just kind of setting the flames, building the furnace, and we were coming. But there was always a setback, and when we got the setback, it was dejection. It's like anything, because we take victory so well, and that's what we do. We also take defeat so bad.
Yeah.
And you learn so much off players, young players as well, and they give you information, and they don't even know they give you information, and you take it, you know. And some of them are saying, like King Cavan, for example, goes off the mow. never too high, never too low, you know, which I couldn't do, but he does it, you know, and I'm like, they're out, I'll be out in the dressing room, they're out to get you, and Kane Lee, only 21 at the times, and he replies to me, he was his manager, and it was really intense, he's like, fuck what everybody else thinks, and I'm like, you're fucking right, and we're rallying and we're going again, so we go again, and we come back to it, and it's nip and tuck, and there's 2 games to go, and we're right up everybody's arse. Inchicore draw with Crumlin, and then they draw with Kilnamanny, and the door swings open again.
Was it home farm?
No, swings open again.
Yeah.
So we go to Skerries, win, back in your hands, 2 games to go. We go to Skerries and we lose.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck. So now you're bringing Skerries into it. Now you've brought Crumlin into it.
Now you're worrying you're not going to get promoted. Never mind.
Now you've brought Ballymun into it, and everybody's back in it. So we win whatever the other fixtures, and then Inchicore travel to home farm and Lewis, and we're going, wow, here we go again. And then we look at our fixtures, and our fixtures are fucking crumbling away, you know, and it's a tough game. And we've the semi-final of the Metro against Montpellier, which is essentially a derby, and I'm away.
You're
golfing,
away for it.
and Al's taking the reins with Gray and Parnell, and I'm golfing. I think it's set up for someone to do a golf celebration when they, you know, against us, but lo and behold, we score, and Dino does it, and it's carnage, and it's video calls from the dressing room, and I'm on the golf course, and it's euphoria, stuff that you never envisage really happening, you know, and it's happening to you, and you're living it and still living it. I know that might sound silly, but I think when you start the podcast, you say you dedicate your life to. We do. This is my Premier League, you know. Yeah. So we're doing that, and then we have to go to Crumlin. Now, behold, the fixture secretary throws a spanner in the works, puts the Metro final before the last league fixture, and everybody's sitting around waiting. And we have the Metro Day. Going to fast forward from the Metro Day, and we go and we play Crumlin away, who have nothing to play for. They're finished. They're in 4th. You know, Ballymun are promoted, Inchicore are promoted, and we have to play fucking Crumlin. And I'm going, my God, here we go. And they come out swinging haymakers up.
And we watched them about a week or 2 before against Ballymun, and they finished the game
and
really
they can
strong.
move the ball. They are some side, and they come out swinging haymakers. And I'm going, we are here. We're 500 or 600 strong in the crowd. We win Senior 1. We're in the top division. And Ivy, the boys, like Ivy is the skipper, and he put on a performance that I've never seen that like from a captain in a game that has so much importance. You know, you've seen better performances, but to do it at that stage.
But I think though, sorry, we'll go back to, you know, you skipped the Metro there, but his performance in the Metro, I think he
lit a fire under him.
Yeah, and that's because the players playing against couldn't have had him.
Yeah, it lit a fire underneath.
No,
that definitely played a part because he told me that. He told me that. But he was insane.
He had something about him that night that it was like he wasn't going to let us lose.
No, it was like
he had this fire in his belly where he ran back in the first half to make a tackle, and I was like, he never does that.
No, it doesn't do that.
And got the ball and broke like it. I was like,
I see, and I do appreciate that, and I've always said it, and everything is relevant. Any good manager is defined by what his players do. Always. 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I sit here now as Senior 1, so they win a manager, Metro Cup winner, but essentially it's the players do it. You can only give them the tools or the advice or player selection, which I think is probably a strong suit of mine as well, but they have to do it. And again, we would probably need hours euphoria and what happened. And if we can rewind back to the Metro Day, I think Al, you go along here with this. This for me is my greatest day in football, apart from like even majority of things outside of football. It's about your kids and your missus and your family. I know your immediate family stuff. Like this day was fairy tale stuff from the minute we opened our eyes. The game was won. All due respect to James and Crumlin and everybody, that game was won at 9 o'clock in the morning. We hadn't considered that.
As
far as we were concerned, obviously you have to go and play a game, and the way it was penalties. But there was no doubt in anybody's mind. Everybody was lasered in to their job and their role and exactly what was coming, you know. And the players will lead up all to their training and how they're taking on information. And I'll go back to how Conor ledgers everything and every assist, every minute people have played, and it's all there, it's all in front of them, and we just laid it on the table for them. And it was just, it was amazing. The crowd there, and just I couldn't actually put it into words. Again, I would need more time. You would need to sit down with me fucking
Part 4.
Yeah, or in the pub and talk about it. But
Yeah.
what came after that then was brilliant. To think that Finglas United, who were Major Sunday 3 years ago, junior team, 3.5 years later, with the help of everybody, are now currently the intermediate team
Brilliant,
here.
yeah.
Now, he's touched on it. We're not arrogant and we're not cocky and we're not anything like that. But we are ourselves. We play off the fact of what we are, with what we've created.
So the club's 10 years old if you go back to that. 10 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And we have to play on that. And we have to celebrate it. And we have to enjoy it. Because if we don't, why else would you do it?
I think it was a year that it was well in AUL before we went Lancing or so.
Yes.
Within 9 years, you've done what you have done what
Yeah,
you've done.
of course, man. And I'm all for celebrating. You have to celebrate it. Dane Ivey's now Leinster Senior League player representative. He's a regional Ireland call up. The squad isn't announced yet, but he's been on both training days. We've got you look at the lads, and I'd love to sit here and name every one of them.
Yeah.
Because I have that affection with them all, and I really do. And to sell them to you here, or to sell them to the wider audience. It's not that they need it.
But then you say as well, Club of the Year as well for Finglas United.
Club of the Year and Intermediate Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And then the Saturday side, and it's a snowball, and then Collie's team, and now you have a 4th team.
Yeah.
It's not like, I know this is obviously my podcast, but this is where we're at. It's a snowball. And I want to eventually stop your lads' progress, and that's what we've done. We've added quality every year, and we have players coming through, so we know it's nearly going to be self-sustainable.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And that's the plan, and keep moving. I want to stand up there and have a coffee and criticise. That, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I understand that that's what's happened to me, and I'm also
And be there comfortable.
Of course.
And
of
looking
course.
at the foundation and structure of the club.
Because I would swear to God to you lads, right? My overriding emotion as a manager, 95% of the time, is relief.
Yeah.
It's not euphoria. It's not what they feel. It's my overriding emotion after every game, especially at the higher level, is relief. And instantly switch to what's next. Because the margins here at this level
you can't do
are
well.
so small. So small. I understand how privileged I am to go and manage at this level, and for us to compete at this level. And I'm aware of it. So I get that there's 500 people coming in that gate, or 300, whatever. I could be exaggerating, but I get they're now entitled to their opinion.
I think, yeah.
They're entitled to their opinion, and I'm okay with it as long as I can't hear it on a match day.
I think the people that are going in, that obviously they did pay the money to get into that because what you're bringing to it, and that's the drama, not the drama, but the excitement, the highs and the lows,
I've a
and
photo
they live
now.
in it, so that's saying like you pay the money and all about that.
Now I have a photo of the Metro final. My missus took it. My ma was in the bills, and my family was amazing. But it's from upstairs in the Shamrock, out the window, and me, Al, Dino, and Anto Dunny were crossing the road from like the
bus,
the drop of the mall or the bus to go into the Shamrock.
Yeah.
And we're like the Beatles. But we're like the Beatles. But
Who's Ringo Starr?
Oh, me.
They
No,
want to say that.
Yeah, no, he's
This fella.
It's but we come into the Shamrock, we come up the stairs, and it's like a sea. It's like a wedding, or even better. And everybody's applauding. And the DJ sticks on We Are the Champions. But he follows it with Jack Charlton, what's that song?
Put Him Under Pressure.
Put Him Under Pressure. And by all accounts, it felt like it was Italian 90 or something.
Yeah.
It felt like that. Like
That's what it's all about.
Of
To
course
be
it
able
is.
to bring that back to the community and have, like,
Anyone
who was in that club or in that Shamrock was there for
No one's
us,
forgetting that.
like to celebrate,
And no one's
and like the
forgetting that.
place was
No,
packed to the
Packed,
rafters.
And
I haven't felt anything like that. Or seen anything like that since I
don't
probably
think I've ever
left as a kid.
I don't even think I've ever felt that, you know. And that can never be taken away from this group. And we did touch on that. Enjoy it, but we will go again, and we will go again, and we are determined to go again. You know, as I said about the two boys, they're phenomenal. I wouldn't want to do them a disservice by not giving them a mention here, you know. But it's more than the two boys. It's obviously Al and Pudgy, and now Dean Kelly's, and yourself, John, Mick, Jay.
Yes, all going
it's an army. It's an army. With Gray and Connor, like it's 24/7. We're WhatsApp. How do we improve? How can we get better? Constantly looking out. I'm constantly looking after the welfare, or thinking of the welfare of the players, and understand that when they come training, and if you're being hard on them, that there's shit going on at home. Nearly father them to a point, because they will go through walls for you. And as I said, if 5 or 6 strangers or new players come into that group, I have no intention of trying to impress this. This is how we operate. You move with it, or don't move with it.
Yeah,
it's fine. You know what I mean?
The lads that have came in pre-season and
Zach
newly
and
signed,
Dan, great lads.
I just like Finglas players straight away.
Yes.
Straight away. They just
That's
you
a
look at them when you like their
I must
feet.
touch on that. The group is great in that sense. They're an unbelievable,
Very welcome.
very well. Even with me, when I first came in, you know, there's a bit of needle there. There could have been a bit of needle there, but like Dano and Fossey jumped on me, and I said I do 1-to-1 sessions with them, and they're so, you know, they became family. We created took them under my wing. We created a golf society, which is, you know, snowballed into us all being pals and golfers and all that one. It's a fairy tale, essentially. And that's what it is. But lads, I know I'm going off topic here, but Danielle, how she deals with me, every result she lives, you know, she's watching our app. She's taking all my emotions, because the great man and funny and happy fellow I am in the dressing room,
You come home with them.
I come home with the other side of it, you know, or you know, and she's there for me, and she's investing, and she knows. But what she does more than anything is she keeps me grounded.
Yeah,
she keeps me grounded and humble. Absolutely, you know. So
behind every strong man's a stronger woman.
Absolutely, and she's definitely the rock, you know, that I'll perish on. She's great, and then I see, and Bella gets the few compliments there now off her manager at Kilnamanagh. And
she's flying, isn't she? Yeah,
she's flying. Yeah, subconsciously, that's where we were tonight. Subconsciously, she has the habits that I never had, because I have them as managers and I try to employ them onto my players. She has them.
Yeah,
she's getting complimented on things that she thinks she's just expected to do.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, which is wonderful to see as well.
Brilliant.
You know, and like that. And she's very humbling as well. They'll humble me. They will both humble me, because Tony Sheridan used to be Bella's coach, and he stopped the session last year and said, "Oh, and Bella's dad is a great manager." And Bella turned down to Tony and says, "We're here to train this team, nothing to do with that." So do you know what I mean? Like, pretty humbling.
Yeah, very good.
There's probably loads of stuff I'm missing. I don't know, but
as you said, listen, we set up a few points and we talked them ones out.
Yeah, but like, and this year we've obviously started great this year, and brought another few faces in, and we don't plan on stopping, but we're under no illusions. We're not lost on the fact that every single game we're gonna have to go to well here. It's really tough, you know. They're nearly robotic, and they're brilliant. But we have our strengths, and we'll walk off our strengths, and we have our Mavericks, and we'll be bang. We'll be bang there. We won't oversell it, but we'll compete.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Brilliant, Pat.
No better man.
We're gonna go into some questions, Johnny.
No problem, Al.
We can find them. It's been a while since you pulled these out.
Snake a few up, baby. What's your favourite pasta?
Don't start pasta.
Chicken nuggets and chips.
Jeez,
pasta flavour with chicken chips.
That conversation feels like yesterday.
Yeah, it does.
Right, Johnny, any regrets?
Yeah, loads on the playing side. Obviously, not applying myself properly is definitely a big regret.
More senior level, would you say, than
senior level. The schoolboy stuff took care of itself. That took care of itself. I was too young to understand. I'm okay with that, you know, and I'll always have.
Yeah, you can sit with that. That's good.
I can sit with that. That's fine. Senior, I didn't apply myself anywhere now. Like, if I was in this team, I'd, oh my God, I would love it. This team is built for me, you know. And maybe that again is subconsciously because I'm the manager and I've created that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do see some of the lads as myself. So yeah, that's just that about me. My own personal application as a player was really poor, as opposed to management. Danielle will tell you, I will not miss the training session. I will go I'll go Monday Bella, Tuesday myself, Wednesday Bella, Thursday myself, Friday I'll watch football, Saturday if I can get away I'll watch the Saturday side, and Sunday we
you're always at a game, you know, every weekend you're sending photos in a game. Like after their game, did you go for a game?
I went and watched a player that we wanted to bring in, and we brought him in straight after the golf we done it on Saturday, you know.
We've had this conversation before. Do you feel you're putting all this in now for what you kind of, not that it's all of it, but is there somewhat of it what you left behind that you're seeing in your career? You're so engrossed and so obsessed with it now.
But that is it. That's the reason why.
Filling that sort of gap that you think you left.
Filling that void. For me, I sat in the house with Danielle maybe 10 years ago, and I'm watching Senior Sunday, and there was no way you can't get there. There's no way for me to get there. But I'm at the somehow manoeuvring a way there. I'm at the finding a way somehow to get there. Watching every result, I can't get there. I have no badges. I have no connection to any of these big clubs.
You have no pathway.
I have no pathway. I'm going to have to start somewhere, and I'm going to have to go relentlessly for it.
Do you ever think the void will be filled? So you said you're just filling the void.
Take it away.
No, you said just filling the void that because you never fulfilled.
Yeah, do you know what?
Do you think that you're going to say, listen, I've done it?
I'd hate to think that people think I'm taking the foot off the gas, because I only said it last night. I will be 150. When I'm not 150%, I'll walk out the gate.
Yeah,
definitely. But I am now content in a sense that I've got, like last year, you know, to go 1B and then run up 1A and win Senior 1 and win a Metro. The difference between our Metro and our Senior 1 is we were not expected to win them.
Yeah.
We weren't expected. We were underdogs in both competitions. So which I think makes it different to, say, potentially a Moctus winning it or Crumlin winning it last year, because they were expected to win it. We weren't, which makes it all the sweeter. So I am content. Definitely not finished, but content.
Yeah. You got the next one there. Best player you played with?
Can I have two?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah.
Right. It's definitely James O'Rourke and Kip Harbour. Definitely. It's the, you know this. You don't need me to sell these two.
Your best manager?
Best manager is John Casey, definitely. Now I have to give an honorary mention to the big JC and to Tocky, because I still in cahoots with both of them. Still talk to both of them, and I take advice on the weekly off talk. Tocky texts me after every single Finglas game, and I went.
And you'll always listen.
And I'll always listen to him. Of course, will. His son is me assistant. His son is me right hand man. And then John, you know, me and John have had a strange dynamic of relationship.
He's had that with a few people, hasn't
he? But like, I see his goodness. He only wants to be good. I spoke to him last night. You know, I spoke to him at length last night, and I felt
a
great.
Lovely conversation.
A great conversation, you know. Yeah. And he's a good man, and he taught me so much. And that passion, I definitely get from him, without a doubt. Because John could make me feel 10 foot tall going on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, he really could, and I'd like to think I can do that as well, you know. So,
best club?
Best club, lads, is obviously I manage Finglas, so I'm not going to say Finglas, but as a player, for me, the best club is Mellows.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go
Mellows.
Mellows.
I'm a Mellows man.
Yeah.
You know.
We were Wefton man, weren't we?
Yeah, he's a Wefton, which makes him all the more beautiful. That's Finglas, because that's the amalgamation.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Friends.
Football friend.
Speaking of friends, your best friend in football.
Best friend in football is Barry McGowan. Yeah. It's Barry McGowan. You know, obviously we have a crazy great relationship, me and you, but it's still kind of player manager type relationship or staff. Barry is now Barry brought me back to things. He brought me back to life.
And he's been there every day for you, hasn't he?
Every day, and we speak. So, you know, Barry's my best friend in football, you know, and he's that's probably the phrase I use. He brought me back to life. He, like you, seen in me, and he champions me all day, like, you know. So, definitely Baz.
Brilliant.
Hardest player you played against?
Carl Murray.
Right.
Weft against the valley, grab me by the neck. Hard work.
So, many grab by the neck.
Oh, stop! But he again, like Al's such a good lieutenant for me, you know. Murray's lieutenant, because they don't sugarcoat on.
Yeah.
They give it to me straight, and if I have something to say about the team or an individual or myself, or I'm looking for a rub, They don't give it to me, they give it to me straight. If I, like, say for example, we play Ballymun or we play Kilbarrack the weekend there, I said, we should have won the game. Well, because Carl's outside, Carl will say, no, you shouldn't have. He won't go, you were unlucky, where other people would, like something like that.
Butter up, kind of.
Al does that for me all the time. And as I said, having them lieutenants to keep you level,
it's great to have a neutral, isn't it? Outside, like brilliant. Say Barry now, because he's not involved.
If you surround yourself with yes men, you don't know when you're going wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be fucking in the gutter, and you'd be like that. We already here.
The two lads are wonderful at that, by the way. You wouldn't think it, because they're soft, their temperament is different to mine.
Gray and Connor.
Yeah, they test me daily on the WhatsApp. They're showing spanners in the work. Purposely, they're in cahoots. No, genuinely,
it's healthy though, isn't it?
It's healthy. I'm going, what? I was like, what?
What's going on here?
Go with that game. I told you. You know what I mean?
Go well.
Your favourite memory?
Favourite memory is definitely the Metro. Well, that if that can be topped, fuck me, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because it's isolated. It's way better than winning the league title, and we won the league title away to Crumlin 5 days after. Metro Day was crazy. Broke down, we did, a lot of us. Do you know what was a great day without really winning in a game? The game against Moctus in the Metro away. I think that was a sliding doors moment for the club, for the team. And the fact that Nelson, the director of football, is in the middle of the pitch.
I've done the same on the Metro finals, the force on the pitch. Big fat token on the
brilliant. But yeah, so the Metro final is better than it. I actually think it's definitely the best. Definitely.
Well, listen, many more to come, hopefully.
Please God.
Players that didn't fulfil their potential.
Players that didn't fulfil their potential. Can you say yourself?
Believe it or not, if I was asked this question, when I look at this question, when I ask this question, I think of you. Like if somebody was asking me this question, I would pick you.
Definitely. It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a hard one to gauge, isn't it? Like you wouldn't like to do someone a disservice. I can see it why you would pick me, and I would totally agree.
But I know I mean that, like, if I'm you, I'm taking that as a compliment.
A compliment, of course, agreed. Yeah. Players that didn't fulfil their potential. No. Gray was retired at 28.
Yeah.
Gray went along.
I never seen Gray play.
Gray went along. Gray was class operator. Gray kind of, as you would, followed his dad. So his dad was Mellows, and Kilbarrack, when they weren't top, they were Premier B, I think.
Whitehall for a while.
Whitehall as well, Whitehall. Yeah. And then when things fizzled out, he went and played with his mates, got an injury, retired.
Pure he played for that role.
And got injured. So definitely potential wise, he didn't fulfil his potential. Maybe through no fault of his own, but in the early stages, if you'd have put Gray in any of the top teams in the AUL or Leinster Senior League, they held his own comfortably. Because I wouldn't say that willy-nilly, definitely.
Last one.
Your best 11.
Best 11, I had to think about this today, and it was hard to find a goalkeeper. I nearly put Nelson in.
You playing goal, nearly?
Honest to God, I nearly put Nelson in. I was close to putting Alan in because I played one game with the Saturday side, but I landed on Garsmy brother-in-law, but I didn't put him in because I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go on the actual best goalkeeper I played with, and it was for one season, and it was John Brown. John Brown.
Usher?
With Usher, yeah. I didn't play enough with Macker, a handful of games, and Martin Roy wasn't as good as John Brown. We won the Liddy with Martin, but John won that one season with Usher. He was really good because we were attacker. Chandler did a lot of shooting, and you could just, he was very good. Yeah, John Brown will go.
He's been on a couple of people that we've had on, hasn't he? Did somebody, who else picked him?
We enjoyed John's madness as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his madness. Sent off from the quarter final of the FA Junior.
The team storming out a goal like that big.
Me and Murray are all sent off down in West United, Galway, quarter final or the last 16, quarter final of the FA Junior. I felt like a big hard man because them two got sent off. But I accidentally elbowed the fella at net. Accidentally, and he opened his eye and acted like a hard man, but it was completely accidental. But at the time, it was like, build him.
Had your elbows back again.
So John, back 4.
You gone 4-4-2?
No,
okay.
I'm going to go 4-3-3. It's the
attacking mind.
The usual, maybe not even with a centre forward. Is a false
I went
dropping
4-3-3 myself.
So it's a little bit unorthodox. Again, I went based off myself. Now, I had a brilliant year with Gage on the left, and we won the Liddy. But I'm gonna go left foot. I'm gonna go with Miffy left foot. I played a good few years.
Yeah.
I played a good few years with Miffy at Mellows, and again,
If he could play in the middle as well.
brilliant. It's where he played. It's where he played. You know, great left foot. He definitely didn't fulfill his potential. Miffy is not a hard man, but he is as honest as the day is long in attack.
Could have stepped up.
Definitely could have stepped up, but he's loyal. He was a Mellows man.
Yeah, he was a Mellows
man. There was a few of them, like, you know. But Miffy was really good technique, really strong, brave. What he lacked in pace, he made up for in his head. So it was Gage or Miffy or a fella called Gary Reid, but we landed on Miffy left full.
Yeah.
I had to get the boss man in right full, so I had to go for Baza, slide him in, I had to slide Barry in right full at the expense of Vinny Dowdall. He's going to be very
He's not going to be
upset.
happy.
He's going.
He keeps asking me, I'm going to mention him on the podcast.
He's going to be very upset, but I had to get Baza in. So I went Barry and Miffy as my fullbacks. No pace, lads. Wow. Just thinking now, which is what? no pace. No pace there, but clever. Yeah, but clever. You know, and again, I nearly put Vinny in centre half because I had good times with him and he could play, Vinny.
Yeah.
He could play. He got to move to Ballymun. He got to move to Kilbarrack, and he was wefty.
Vinny with Kilbarrack, was he?
He was with Kilbarrack with Tocky.
Did not play up front for Blade in Ballymun.
He had a spell. Yeah, he had a spell even with Weft.
Vinny was big for me early doors in senior football. Like he took me under his wing. You know, bring me to the pub. You know, protected me.
That's the wrong way to be under, I tell you.
Yeah, but I had a straightener off Vinny in the dressing room as well.
Who won?
Yeah, him, for fuck's sake. Come on. But yeah, so he missed out though because I had to go. I couldn't break up Peter and Bill. I couldn't break them up.
Yeah.
I couldn't break them up, you know. And overriding memory of Peter, and I love him because we work together a lot of the time. I do see him and work a lot, and he's so softly spoken. But my first training session with Wefty, he elbowed me square in the temple. I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead, and like, this is the nicest fella in the world, you know what I mean? But and he was just so tough, and there was no prisoners taken, and we're like that. We train like that now, but there was no prisoners taken in that team. So Bill and Peter, I know what everybody thinks of Bill, but for me it was Peter was the better of the two. Just my opinion. Yeah, entitled to that, isn't it? And Bill was class. What a captain though. You know, what a leader. So that's the back.
Both very different.
Because totally different, yeah.
Very different.
Totally different. How good were they, lads? Do you know, I see a lot of like in them. There are different types of players, but in relationship wise, I think when you think of Bill, you think Pierre. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
But I also
their names go hand.
But I also now think that if you think of Adam Clark, you think of Andrew Dunham.
Yeah.
I do think Finglas
man. Now
I do think there's a relationship to the dynamic is there, isn't it?
Good partnership.
Right-footed, left-footed,
and relationships. That's exactly my point. Right-footed, left-footed.
And they build a great
relationships are huge in football, you know. Yeah. So that's me back five. Slow enough, but.
So who are we going into the middle? Are you going to right wing first?
No, we're gonna go three in the middle like what we play. So like kind of two. You know, flat three. We're gonna go flat three. We have Git Barber, of course. Git Barber, and Carl Murray, and I had someone else. I remember who it was now. Git Barber, Carl Murray. Jeez, that's something else, isn't it, lads? Huh?
Getting them two on the day, playing in the middle with each other.
Okay, it may well have been Barry and Dowdall going right full, lads. Know that?
Think
that's
so?
What it was.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Vince, you're in. The Prince is in. Vinny's at the sliding in right full, and we're going to go middle three of Barry, Murray and Barber. This is a good side actually, isn't it? And then the front three of, on the left, Jamesy, and then a false nine, Graham Cullen, and on the right, Paul Fitzmaurice. Fuck.
Oh, sure.
Oh my God, lads.
Good.
Like Jamesy, essentially Jamesy on the right. But like
was he? Yeah.
The speed of the light. Again, one of these characters that was just ridiculously nice. You know, it was to compare him to someone off Ayrton. Compare him to Costello. He had, you know, that wiry strength. You know, you couldn't get the ball off him. Great feet, a ton of pace, an eye for goal. Brilliant. Like what a dynamic there. You know, like him on one side and James on the other side.
Yeah.
Great brain, drop in. Murray and Barber bomb beyond them. Can you imagine that? Leave little old Barry sitting.
Good the
on
way
his
of
own.
thinking, the the whole way of playing through it. You know,
see that's my thinking on it there. You know, you've got the two boys down the side, Gray drops in, Murray and Barber bomb on. You know, little Baz ass there sitting in. You know,
not about it.
No, but the fact that your two fullbacks are like Miffy.
They're not going to get forward anyway.
No, exactly, and he would nearly step in. You know, so really, that's where it'd be at 11 now.
Very good.
Go something that, innit?
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different, yeah, exactly. Different to everyone's. That was brilliant. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did enjoy it. Yeah, very good.
Went free flowing, didn't it?
Free flowing.
Didn't it?
Good, yeah. It's long enough, wasn't it?
Yeah, John, thanks very much
Yeah,
for that.
no,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.